Sport Bar TV.
Welcome everybody to the NDCA Twilight T20 competition here today, brought to you by the Commonwealth Bank and of course Kingsgrove Sport. We've got Wallsend taking on Stockton Raymond Terrace in a fairly evenly matched setup fixture. Whatever we like to call you. And what do we call you next to me? Pete Davis. Pete, how are you?
Good, Gareth. Nice to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have Pete Davis back. Of course, you hear Pete all around Newcastle on 2HD. He's an umpire. He's very highly regarded around the Newcastle cricket scene. And it's going to be a great match, as I said, evenly matched.
Yeah, it should be great. And I must say at the start that it's the weather's a lot better than it was when I was last here on Thursday. Gareth, that was an unbelievable afternoon, wasn't it?
It was probably the wildest storm I've ever been confronted with. And you were out in the middle actually umpiring for us out there, Pete. It was so windy, so blustery. And I guess the electromagnetic currents, we were going to mic you up, but we couldn't.
Yeah, well, that was unfortunate, but maybe there's another time coming up soon, and I look forward to that. And one of the interesting things about that night was all the cones were from the boundary were blowing into near the wicket, and we had to pick them up. So the umpire's job is just not umpiring; it's also looking after the cones as well.
The cone heads. In any case, it looks like Montgomery is getting his field set at the moment. And opening the batting, I'm told, Osmond and Thomas. I think Thomas may have been bumped back down the order. Maybe Foster has come out there at the moment. I just can't see from our vantage point who's out there at the moment. Pete?
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure. I can't tell without the numbers, unfortunately. Their numbers are a bit hard to see from where we are.
Thomas is out there, and it will be Osmond out there who is. So they have retained their batting order, which is the one we've got. There were rumours down there when I was down there speaking to both captains that they may have got Jenkinson. He may have pushed himself up the order just to get some big hitting going on early on. Which I mean they're full of it. Stockton, one of the surprise packages again last year. They put up a pretty good fight and almost got themselves through to the final. As we see the first ball bowled. It's short, or he's just missed time. That's going to be called a wide, though.
Yep, first ball, first wide of the innings as well. So he'll be looking to try and get them on off stump if he can.
So McGovern out there in the 8 for our viewers at home. They're starting with spin. We haven't seen this too much in the Twilight T20 competition here at number 1 Sports Ground. Oh, that's nice and full, but it's just drifted down leg side again. So not really getting his mark at the moment here, McGovern.
No, he's not, but I don't mind the spinner coming on nice and early. I think it's a good tactic, actually, in the T20s. The ball not coming on as much, so we'll wait and see what happens with this ball.
That's a better line, a bit flatter. He's pushed that through a bit quicker as well.
Yeah, I think if he can keep that line, just keep it nice and tight for the first over or so. And as we know, it's into the power play here, so the first 6 overs are very important.
Oh, it's going to be close, umpire.
He's clean bowled him, actually.
He has clean bowled him. Yes, he has. I thought it had hit his pads. That pink ball's getting harder to pick up as we go. But he's bowled him, so he beat him with flight, played all around it, and that has taken leg stump there.
Yeah, I think that he just clean missed that altogether. And again, the same sort of line, and we'll have the replay in just a second coming up here in a minute, but at least he was consistent with his bowling, I guess, keeping it with that line. But I think, obviously, the batsman there would be extremely disappointed with the fact that he just completely missed it. Maybe not quite the shot you want to play early on.
Yeah, definitely, and he certainly had him beat for flight. It was, as we look at the replay here, Pete. So he's played around the legs, and that's a pretty good ball, pretty good delivery. He was aiming for that, wasn't he? He's been playing wide there of the leg stump.
Yeah, it was close actually to a full toss, but as you say, that shot maybe just wasn't the shot there. Maybe just needed to look at a few before he played a shot like that. So I guess Stockton off to a start they probably wouldn't have wanted with 1 wicket down early on.
Yeah, so they're playing with a deep mid wicket and a man either down at long on or long off. They are not playing with a third man or fine leg at the moment. Fine leg's up, so a fairly attacking field, you'd say, Pete.
Yeah, it is, and I think in these T20s with the power play, obviously you can only allow 2 out in the first 6 overs, so it does restrict you a bit, and you got to sort of ring it up a bit if you can.
Oh, he's gone for that one. Got a bit of an edge on it. The fielder's in chase. It won't go all the way. He's going to cut it off. And the outfield, compared to last week, it's running probably about 2 metres quicker, Pete.
Yeah, it is. That was a lot quicker than, as you say, last week. And I think in the power play overs as well, if you can try and hit over the top, hit over the fielders that are in fairly close, that's where you can probably score most of your runs.
All the runs here at the moment on the offside. There's plenty of room, as you mentioned, over the top. Of course, long down the ground as well. Blocked nicely along, and we'll take this first opportunity, the first over. We'll get him involved in the game early on. Our boundary rider, who is in the shade, we've given him OHS laws. Hasn't got the long shirt on, so he's in the shade today. Ben, how are you down there, mate?
I'm great, Gareth. How are you?
Yeah, very good. And how's it looking down there? It's pretty hot at ground level.
Well, the ground, yeah, it is stinking hot and the humidity's so high, but hopefully this breeze maybe cools things down a little bit, but the outfield looks in great nick, and so does the pitch as well, Gareth.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for that, Ben. We'll be crossing to you most of the day, of course, keeping tabs of all the scores and the stats for exclusively for Bar TV. Of course, if you do want to get in the game at Bar TV Sports on Twitter, tell us what you think and hashtag Bar TV Sports. Pete, how's that over to you?
Yeah, not a bad over. I mean, just 3 off it, so that was a pretty good start, and of course the wicket as well. So I think realistically the Wallsend blokes would be pretty happy with starting out with a spinner, which I don't mind that. I think that was a pretty good tactic as well. Before we go back to you, the shirt today, what's going on with the shirt?
Yeah, well, Ben hasn't been adhering to, I guess, Bar TV dress code, so he's wearing the button-up number today. It's not from Lowe's. Ben, where'd you pick that one up from, mate?
I've actually forgotten. I got 3 from Terrace, and I can't actually remember. I've forgotten. I'll have to get back to you.
That's all right. Of course, Ben.
I'll think about it.
Ben dressed exclusively by his mother, and we'll be going to Ben all day, every day. He does a great job for us down on the boundary, Pete.
He does. So I think I used to wear those shirts in about 1975, actually. But
well, I don't like shopping very much, so that's why I don't know the name of the store.
So Pat McGann will be bowling here off the long run-up. It is one of the longer run-ups in this NDCA competition, coming from about 30 out. As we see Wicks warming up there, so there might be a change early on as well.
Yeah, well, the Wallsend guys have got a pretty good bowling attack. I mean, they're a fairly young team as well, so up-and-coming team in the NDCA, and they do pretty well in the T20 competition. So this should be an interesting game against Stockton today.
So here he comes. First ball, that's nice and quick, but it's well hit there, and that's going to go all the way for 4, just backward of point. Couldn't get hold of that. It was hit very well and very hard, Pete.
Yeah, good shot. And that's the thing with the power plays. If you can score the boundaries fairly early, it gets you off to a nice start. So, I mean, I think after 6 overs, you've got to be looking at least 40 or 50. If you can reach that, you're on target to a pretty good score.
Yeah, definitely. So Eaton, the man out in the middle at the moment, in the 17, he's certainly a big, powerful, strong hitter of the ball, as you can see by his frame. Oh, he's had a nick at that, and he is out. That's a good ball.
It was a good ball, good length, and yeah, nice pace as well. And that's the sort of deliveries that you want to be bowling in this form of the game as well. Just keep it nice and pitched up, particularly on this pitch. And today that was an ideal ball, and that's the second wicket for Stockton. 2 for 9 now, Gareth.
That's right. He's tried to guide that one down to third man, hasn't he? And he just hasn't got the bat on it. It would have worked well for him. There was no third man down there, and unfortunately goes to first slip.
Yeah, and I think you're right when he said he was just trying to guide it down. We're just watching the replay now. Yeah, I think he tried to guide it down, but
so he got a fair bit of bat on it, didn't he? If it's gone to first slip, so not exactly the shot he wanted. And he looked so strong, so powerful when he hit that previous shot. I don't know why he wasn't going to take them on and try and dab it around.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? I think in this game you've really got to think about your cricket and think about where you're going to score your runs. And it's, as we keep saying, it's nice and easy sitting up here in the commentary box to say, oh, this is what you should be doing. But I think that's what you need to do. You just need to go in with a plan, and hopefully your plan can come off.
Well, here's a man with a plan, Foster. He likes to hit over the top, certainly. He's known as a power hitter, but he also can tie an innings together as well. Let's see what he's got. And again, that's a good line of length.
Yeah, that's it. Again, similar ball to the last one, so that's good consistent bowling, and that's again what you need in this form of the cricket too.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Pete. Pat McGann, is he an import for this Wallsend side?
Not 100% sure about that, so I really can't answer that.
I know definitely they have got another import. It is Cecile. No, he's in 44 as well, so let's not confuse him with Wicks, who's also in the 44. Oh, that's another edge, and I thought he got bat on that. It's come off his pad. And it's gone all the way to first slip, so the ball definitely moving around. The length is definitely causing the batsman a little bit of dramas here. He's really kicking up.
Yeah, it is, and as we say, it's into the power play overs here. So this is good tight bowling, and the tighter the bowling and the dot balls, once they start to build up, that's when the pressure really builds on the batsman as well.
Oh, that's up in the air. It's going to be very close. The bowler couldn't get to it. And if I was Montgomery here, I'd also look at maybe bringing a fielder in and putting more pressure on these batsmen. The bowling is very, very tight, as we mentioned. Just attack that a little bit more, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that at all if you show a bit of intent and try and attack early. And if your bowler's bowling as well as what he is at the moment, it probably is worth maybe just a risk for maybe one or two balls at least anyway.
Oh, they've gone up for it. The umpire shakes his head. Of course, umpires Graham Bruce and Warren O'Rourke out there today. I bet you'd rather be up here today, mate.
Yeah, well, that one there, just looking at that, he was fairly forward there, so there's got to be some sort of an element of doubt in the umpire's mind. When players tend to shuffle real forward, you've also got to remember that the trajectory of the ball when it hits the pitch to where it's going to hit in line with the stumps. So that was either outside or possibly going over.
Gareth, just quickly on Pat McGann, this season he's their second leading wicket taker behind Cam Roxby, who's of course out of this game. So 13 wickets this season.
Well, there you go, and we can see why. Ben, does it look quick down there, mate? It's coming off the pitch. Pretty hot.
And that boundary really flew off Eaton's bat. The first ball of that over from again, it was short and wide, and he had a go at it, and it was a beautiful shot, but gee, flew off the bat.
Well, he's got genuine pace. As we see Nathan Price coming in now. Price is one of the better known bowlers around the district as well.
Yeah, good experienced bowler, and these days he plays his cricket in Sydney, and he's coming in for his first ball.
So Price is the other import then. That shores that up.
Yeah, and a good choice of the player to come in for Wallsend too. And I mean, he's played his cricket with Wallsend as well, so it's not as if he hasn't played with them before. But I know he's been doing quite well in Sydney grade cricket, and he's not just a handy bowler, but he certainly can hold the bat as well.
He did a bit of commentary with us last year as well. Oh, and he's pushed that one through.
Yeah, he's one of these players, Nathan Price, where I'm sure that once his Sydney career comes up to an end, he'll probably come back and play a few seasons with Wallsend, which will be great for the younger guys coming through the ranks at the club. So he'll be a great asset for them if he decides to come back to Wallsend in the future to guide a few of the younger players.
Well, he's tall and he's very strong. Looks like he might have dropped a few kilos as well this season.
Yeah, he's looking pretty fit, isn't he? So I know that I'm pretty sure he scored at least 100 in Sydney grade cricket this year. I mean, I know he scored one. I'm not sure if he scored any more than that, but it's pretty tough down there. So to score 100 down there, he's doing quite well. So.
And I know Ben Homer, our stats man, he might be able to get a hand on this. I'm pretty sure he's playing out of the Randwick Club. Is that right down there?
Yeah, Randwick Petersham, yeah.
So that's another club with plenty of history and plenty of talent. So he's doing well for himself, the man on screen, Price. He's doing well for his side right now. It's 2 for 9, so
Yeah.
Stockton unable to get going so far.
Yeah, they are struggling a bit at the moment, aren't they? And we're talking about Randwick Petersham. Also, speaking of Wallsend, they have a young bloke called Jason Sanger, who has also been playing a little bit of cricket down there. I think he played a second grade game the other day and did pretty well.
And that's a good line there, and they're just not picking him up at the moment.
On Jason Sanger, he recently went over to play the UAE to play in this under-19s Tri-Series tournament, Pakistan, New Zealand and Australia. He made 102 in his debut against Pakistan, so he's playing very well at the moment.
He is, and I think a lot of players are sort of keeping an eye out for Jason Sanger now, and he's being touted as maybe one of the next best things in cricket.
Well, it's going to go all the way to the boundary. Is it? No. Oh, great fielding there by the Wallsend side. Good desperation. They're being very tight in the field, and they're bowling as well. And, of course, he's been mentioned in all the papers. I remember reading a few weeks back, Peter Fitzsimons mentioned him as a player to buy stocks in. He had a little article on who you should buy and who you should sell, and he was one of the guys that was mentioned kind of out of nowhere, I guess.
Yeah, well, he's been obviously through the junior ranks. He came through Toronto originally, and then he made his way to Wallsend. He's played first grade for Wallsend for a couple of seasons now. So, and he's played a lot of rep cricket. As Ben was saying, he's also been overseas and played a bit of cricket over there too. So, at 16 years old, he's done a lot in a short space of time, and I'm sure a lot of people around Newcastle are right behind him and hope he goes all the way.
Yeah, definitely. Just 2 runs off that over, so they're moving along. He's made a bit of room there. Oh, the umpire's going to call that wide. Interesting. He did make a lot of room. He went right across his stumps there and looked to paddle it there on the onside.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. Obviously, if it's just missing the stumps, you've got to then have a bit of a think about it. But that one was fairly wide out the stump there, and yeah, he did move across a little bit, but unfortunately in this game, down leg side's down leg side.
There's a little margin for error, I guess they say. So you got to hit your lines. Oh, that's a nice ball there, the Yorker.
Yeah. Well, as an umpire, you've got the lines out there for you as a guide, and that's what they're there for. They're purely there for a guide, and I think in some respects anyway, if it's in that situation there, if it shave the leg stump, it'd be very hard to maybe call a wide. I would say you've got to use a little bit of common sense in that area as well. But
so Morgan, he's coming in again. He's bowling very tight. And that's a nice full delivery. They pick up a single there. Good running by the Stockton side. That's positive stuff there.
That was quick singles, and that's what they probably need to do a little bit more, is just try and take the fielders on a bit here. And as I said in my last commentary last week, I'm a big believer in rotating the strike in this game, because you've only got 20 overs. You haven't got long to try and get some runs. So if you can just sort of rotate, maybe get the odd boundary, it's amazing how it can sort of build up and you can get a pretty good score.
Yes, and the young player out there, he's known as Crackers to everyone. And even... Oh, that was very close. Crackers was nearly out then.
Yes, he was. So we don't know Crackers' name.
Young Jay. They didn't know his last name when they filled in the team sheets. So we're going to know him as Crackers all day.
Okay.
And he likes being known as Crackers anyway.
Righto. Well, he's obviously got that nickname for a reason.
I think it is his last name, Crackers. Good last name to have.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Foster's on strike now. So Stockton, not a rush team together, but they obviously playing at 5 o'clock. They've got to come across on the ferry. Oh, that's been hit nicely over the top. That's what they need. It's not going to go for 4, but it has found space. They should push for 3 here. The boundary is very, very long. There was 3 in that, Peter, definitely.
Yeah, probably the running there could have been a little bit better, but he's probably thinking to himself as well that he's better off to be on strike, the more experienced player to be on strike here in this situation. And
especially in the power play as well. I mean, he has got the hitting power to hit over the top.
And that's the thing too, if you're batting with a least experienced player, you want to try and get the strike as much as possible, and I think that's what he was thinking there. Better to have 2, then maybe I can, next ball I can hit a boundary. So we'll wait and see what happens here.
Yeah, definitely. And if he's building confidence, it definitely builds confidence for Crackers at the non-strikers end as he comes through for a quick single there.
Yeah, that was a good run, and I think if they can continue to try and do that, and obviously put a bit of pressure on Crackers, I guess, when he's up the striker's end. He needs to try and do the same if he can, even if he just punches it around and just gets the odd single. Although the bowling has been pretty good so far from Wallsend. They've bowled pretty good lines. A few wides, but apart from that, not too bad.
Yeah, 2 for 17, coming into the 4th over completed, as that is nearly chopped almost towards the stumps, but...
Yeah, that was a good line and length ball, and they're very difficult to get away. You've got to try and, I guess, invent shots to try and get your runs if you can. So that was a pretty tight over, and again, it'll just build the pressure up on Stockton to try and find where they're going to get some runs here.
So Nathan Price with the ball in hand, of course, as we mentioned before, plenty of pedigree there. I think he's also broken in that ACT Meteor setup as well. So plays for them. I don't know if he did this year, but certainly he was last year.
Yeah, he has played down in the ACT as well. So he's played some pretty high level cricket, and he's, as I said before, he's very experienced.
Oh, that's a good quick delivery. They'll go for a quick single. It's going to be trouble. The throw wasn't on target as they pushed through there.
Yeah, I think with the fact that if you're going to bowl a little bit short on this wicket, you've got to have the pace with it as well. So it sort of comes onto the batsman fairly quickly, and that's what he's trying to do here. He's obviously got a little bit of pace and a little bit short, and I wouldn't say that he's going to try and try bowl too short, but just that good length where he can get it up around the batsman's helmet area.
And he's got a nice looking shot away there, and third man will clean that one up. Interesting yesterday, I mean, the pitch has been baking in the sun all day, but the pitch was a little bit soft, and as the ball was hitting, there was a few divots getting made, so
yeah,
it wasn't really playing through, but today it looks immaculate.
Well, we've had a couple of warm days in a row, so that'll certainly help, and I mean, even tomorrow, it could play even a bit quicker.
Oh, that's a shorter ball there. They'll pick up another single. This is good running between wickets here by the Stockton side, really getting the scoreboard going now.
Yeah, that's what needs to be done, and if they continue to do that, well, they'll rack up a fairly competitive score here. It's just if you start getting bogged down, that's when you'll find it hard to try and invent shots to score runs, and that's when, in a lot of cases, you just simply get yourself out. So, but I think it's a pretty good over so far from Nathan Price. He's bowling quite well.
Oh, that's a fuller delivery, but that's a good shot. Good stroke play there, but the fielder came across and cut it off before it got through the gap. Looked good off the bat, though.
Yeah, that was a nice little shot. Unfortunately, didn't pierce the field, and if you can, get it past the fielders, that probably would have only went for one anyway, but at least one's better than none.
Well, young Crackers, he's not known for hitting it over the top. He's a stroke maker, and that's a nice stroke there too. Well timed. It could go all the way. Oh, picked up. The third man was a bit wider, but he came around, and good running between wickets there too.
It was good running, and that was an ideal shot as well. Obviously, no man down there, and you try and identify where the fielders aren't. And as we said a bit earlier on in the commentary there, if you can hit over the fields whilst we have the power play here, it is risky, but in this game you've got to take a few risks.
Oh, that's a better line there. And they go for the quick single. Well called by Foster. It was close at the non-striker's end, but well run again by Stockton there. They're getting the scoreboard ticking over. They know what they need to do. They probably want to be around that 50-run mark, I guess, by the end of the power play.
Yeah, I think that's a good benchmark, around 50. I mean, if you can score 50, that's good. If you can get 60, well, that to me is a bit of a bonus. If you're after 6 overs 60, you got 10 per over. I mean, that's a great start. So, but I think today, if you can get to the 50 and then build from there, and try and get that 160, 170, you've got a pretty good score.
Yeah, so 5 overs completed, and that westerly breeze is still here. It's a very, very hot out in the middle. We'll go down to Ben. He's still in the shade. We don't expect him to get too many interviews today, if any at all. I don't want him getting sunburnt down there. Ben,
That's right.
How's the humidity down there, mate?
Oh, it is shocking. And this wind, it's so warm. I need a good southerly breeze coming through. Do we know what the weather's going to be like in a couple of hours? Is there going to be a thunderstorm or anything to cool it down?
Well, the Market Town doctor normally kicks in and we'll probably swirl around. So the wind comes through from the south and swings back around Market Town. It's a crazy phenomenon, Ben.
Well, yeah, when that crane puts a few more stories on that building, it's going to make it even more interesting, I think.
It'll make it more intense, cyclone-like. Thanks very much down there, Ben, of course. And how are the batsmen going at the moment, Ben? What are they up to? What are they on? What's Foster on?
Crackers. Foster is on 6 and Crackers is on 9.
So slow scoring at the moment. It's 2 for 24, 5 overs completed. Another bowling change.
It's good to see the captain here actually, giving the young fella a lot of confidence by giving him as much strike as he can as well. So
yeah, definitely not hogging the strike, really, is he?
Well, at this stage, he's obviously outscoring him, so that's a good thing.
Oh, that's a better shot there. He's really punching it in there, isn't he? He's getting through these overs pretty quickly too. The umpire's maybe having a chat to him. He was going a little bit too quick, maybe. Is there such a thing as too quick, Pete?
No, there's not. You just let the bowlers, do their job, and it's really up to the batsman to pull away and try and stop the momentum of the bowler. That's really what they need to do.
And that's a big part of the spin bowlers' makeup, isn't it? They're really rushing through the overs, and it really hurries up the batsman. Not just the fact they're bowling slow and bowling sort of in and darts, and that's a good shot over the top. Fielder will come around, won't go all the way. Oh, he's fumbled it, and it's 4. So that's a boundary. It hasn't come too soon for them either.
Well, I think they probably got 2 extra runs there. They probably didn't deserve there. That was not all that great fielding.
It wasn't well hit, really, was it?
No,
so he'll take them. They'll take anything at the moment here.
Yeah, he probably should have stopped that one.
And they'll take a quick single there.
We're just getting back to the slower bowlers with how fast they can obviously deliver the ball every delivery in between. It's up to the bowlers. It really is up to the batsmen to try and stop their momentum if they can.
Well, this is the captain, his experience as well, Montgomery. Going to have a chat. The wicketkeeper took the bails off. I didn't know if it was quite the change of over, but it was.
Yeah.
Pretty cheeky by the wicketkeeper,
yeah,
of course.
Well, maybe he didn't hear the umpire say over. So, I mean, that's fair enough too. But obviously he did call over and play will continue on.
It was Forsyth there with the gloves on. He's another one who's a wily old combatant as well.
Yeah, well, he's done a bit of wicket-keeping in his time, and he's quite a handy wicket-keeper as well. I'm not sure how much he's done this season. I actually haven't had Wallsend this year, so I don't know if he's had any keeping duties at all, but I think he's pretty handy when it comes to wicket-keeping, yeah.
So this will be Wicks coming on. I think Ben down on the boundary. Ben's got some insight for us down there.
I have, in terms of boundaries, that boundary midway through the overs from Crackers there, that was the first boundary in 26 deliveries.
Well, there you go. First boundary in 26 deliveries. So you can see how well Wallsend is bowling at the moment, and Wicks comes in. He has a upright run up, and he's going to call that one a wide, but he's hitting the pitch pretty hard here.
Yeah, he is, and he always does, actually. He's a pretty handy bowler, Matty Wicks. I know that he's a one of these guys that's he really gets in there and gives him 100% for his captain, and I guess today won't be any different. He sort of charges in and he gives it all.
Holds the ball down low, and there's a bit of open space there. They'll get a couple if they go hard, and they're going to go hard, and they get there easily in the end. We've seen a couple of brilliant run-outs in that Twilight T20 competition. We've seen some from the boundary. We've seen some close in, and that could have been another one there, but the shot was off target.
Yes, the beauty of this game isn't that you just don't know what's going to happen from ball to ball, and no doubt we've had a few free hits along the way as well. So that's why people are flocking to this form of the game.
Yeah, definitely. If you do want to come to the game, if you are listening out there, that's high up in the air. The wicketkeeper, Forsyth, is under it, and that is a regulation catch. Not the best shot. He never really got going. He did look at comfortable at stages, but in patches, he just wasn't comfortable, was he?
No, he wasn't, and that's what happens when, after the power play, you've only got 5 per over. You start searching for runs and you start trying to play some risky shots, and that was what that was. It was just let's see how far we can hit this, and he's obviously mishit it and straight up in the air. So here's the replay.
As we go now, and as you see, he's completely misjudged the bounce on that. It's hit the top edge and regulation catch.
Yeah, well, the ball was actually outside off stump, and he tried to hit that on the leg side. Maybe if he had his time over again, he might have tried to hit that one a little bit on the offside instead of the leg side. So, but anyway, that's T20 cricket. That's what you do.
So here's Jenkinson now. What can Jenkinson do? The two stalwarts here for Stockton out of the middle, Foster and Jenkinson. They built some good partnerships throughout the years, and certainly did pretty well in last year's T20, especially over at Stockton, where they really unleashed.
Yeah, it's funny with some clubs, they do very well on their home patch, and sometimes they struggle when they play away. But of course, being number one sports ground, being a neutral ground, it's been a great initiative out T20 midweek.
Oh, full toss, and it's going to be cool and no ball, and wait for it, everybody. Viewers at home, we're going to see the lasso come out. Of course, at Bar TV, we love the lasso. Is he going to bring it out? The free hit.
Yeah, just waiting for him to...
Here it is. Here's the lasso, everybody. It's a free hit. First of the match, first of the week here in this Twilight T20 competition.
Okay, so where does he go, Gareth, with this? Where do you think he's going to hit this?
Straight down the ground. Definitely, there's space all the way, straight down the ground. What can he do? And he goes for it. It's up in the air. It's probably going to be caught, but it's a free hit. Doesn't matter. And he gets straight back into the keeper. So does it count as a run?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yep.
I wasn't sure if they actually had got back into the crease before he caught it.
No, it's still a run.
It still counts as a run?
Yep,
Wow.
no problem.
I love the free hit rule.
Yeah, I think the free hit rule's a good one. And
they should bring it in for wides as well.
Yeah, I think you were mentioning that last time I was here.
I'm going to mention it again. If anyone with power is listening. Yeah, nicely run there, and you can see the experience here by the two senior members of this Stockton side just coming through on that.
Yeah, good ball. He cramped him up a little bit there, and it was good communication between the batsmen. And I really do think, and I think I might have said this last time I was on commentary, I think in T20, if you get one player who can go through the whole 20 overs, you've got a big chance of winning the game. So this is an opportunity here with another 12, 13 overs to go for one of these guys to stick right through it if they can.
Yeah, definitely. We saw Trappel do it in yesterday's match, and he got 31 off that last over. It was an over for everyone to see. It'll be on the highlights all around the world, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and they scored quite a good score, didn't they, yesterday?
Yeah, 183 was the end score, so Hamwick's definitely, I would say they're the out-and-out favourites. I'm sure our man on the boundary, Ben Homer, would disagree. Ben, being a uni lower grader there, working on his spin to try and get himself in the top grade. Ben, did you watch the Hamwicks game yesterday?
I actually went back when I read in the paper that he hit Trappel hit 5 sixes off the last over, and I was like, I got to see this. And yes, if he gets going and Hamwicks get through to the final, whoever they play, they're going to have a tough contest.
Oh, they go for three there. Good running between the wickets. Sorry to cut you off, Ben. Yeah, and of course Weber as well. He scored 50 runs too. So yeah, definitely the Hamilton side, plenty of runs in. They know how to hit over the top, and they know how to play this power play.
Yeah, well, the thing I like about this concept is anybody can win on the day. It doesn't matter if your favourites to win the comp or whatever as far as the T20 is concerned. When it comes to the crunch and it comes to the final, if you get a bit of luck go your way, you can win the game. So that's what I love about T20 cricket.
Well, they have to really build the partnership here, don't they? They have to really keep it going. Of course, the power play is over, so they've got the full complement outside the circle. But they are looking for these players to still attack and hit over the top.
Yeah, well, you've got to keep continuing to try and find the gaps and try and find the boundaries. And And as we saw from yesterday's game, you can score like 30, 31 in and over if you get the right balls in the right place. So even though they got off to a slow start, they can still get that 130, 140.
Oh, nice ball there, just punched in by the captain. Of course, the area to hit around here is that sort of deep mid-off and deep extra cover region. Plenty of space out there. Protecting the onside, I guess.
Yeah, well, obviously mid-off, they've got their mid-off up at the moment, so if you were looking at scoring a few runs, it'd be over the mid-off's head, if you could, or alternatively straight down the ground.
Oh, he stepped across his wicket there. So, definitely the onside, his favoured side.
Yeah, I think he stepped so far across there, I actually think he was outside off stump.
Yeah, I mean, that was perfectly, I guess, weighted for him to hit over that region we're just talking about then.
Yeah, and that was what he was probably looking at doing, but unfortunately he missed it there. But they still got a run out of that.
So Jenkinson, what can he do? Oh, he can't do much. It moved away there. The captain Montgomery, for Wallsend, he's bowling pretty tightly here.
Yeah, he's bowling darts, as they call him. He's just sort of, bowling quicker ones and just varying his pace, and that's what you have to do when you be a spinner.
And again, another dot ball, so valuable in T20 cricket, and he's
as you can see there, the batsman is entitled to pull away there.
But he certainly is looking to get through these deliveries very quickly. Of course, there is a time limit in this Twilight T20 competition. It's 75 minutes. So I guess maybe they were getting a bit behind on time as well.
Well, yeah, possibly, but also as the batsman too, you've got to watch that you don't get caught for time wasting as well. So, there's a fine line between all that. But I still think that if you've got a guy who's coming on, bowling spin, who wants to get threes overs pretty quickly, as a batsman, you just got to try and upset his rhythm a bit. Just pull away, take a bit of time. Don't take too much time, just a bit of time, and then go from there.
Yes, and of course, if you do want to get involved in the game, come to the game. It's free entry. It's at number 1 sports ground. There's another match tomorrow night, which will be another great day. There's rain forecast for Friday, so maybe get your fix of outside weather on the Thursday afternoon. Of course, it is still school holidays. There's quite a crowd here. Not a little bit down on what it has been the last week or so, but I guess not many people jumping on board that ferry from Stockton.
No, not probably not too many, but the other thing to obviously inform our viewers is the fact that the T20 round continues on Sunday too. There's another round of T20 cricket here in Newcastle, so that should be an interesting weekend too. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the weather is okay.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's rain forecast Friday and Saturday, and Sunday is scheduled to be clear by the weather gods, so I'm glad they've made time for that, for us to get plenty of T20 cricket in. Oh, he's gone for that one, the big sweep, the big slog sweep, and there's no one out there at the moment.
Well, apart from the fact that the midweek cricket's going okay, we've just lost a bit of cricket in the last couple of weeks.
Down the ground, and that had a bit of turn there. It sort of turned away from the batter. So again,
yeah, I think
McGovern, he's back on now.
I think he's trying to hit sort of down to extra cover here.
He's whipped that one off his legs. They'll go for 2. It'll be close. Oh, they do well.
Yeah, excellent
Good running.
That was excellent running, yeah. As you know, when you first started cricket, Gareth, your coach would have said to you, always run the first one hard because it makes the second one a lot easier. That's
why my cricket career was pretty short-lived, because I'm not too much of a runner, Pete. Although the 20 or so metres is a fair distance. But you're right, they have to push. And they're pushing again. There's 3 in this if they can get through. Jenkinson wanted it. Foster didn't. Of course, this pitch playing pretty well. They've played on this pitch here at number 1 for the entirety of the tournament so far, and it's held up pretty well.
Yeah, it has. It's done very well, and well done to the curators and the people that look after the ground. They've done an outstanding job, and considering that big weather event we had on Thursday, it all looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. And McGovern coming in. Oh, that's nicely bowled there, and that is bowled.
Yeah, I think it's taking his off stump, middle and off.
Wow, Foster, he certainly didn't look comfortable against the spin, did he?
No, well, that's when you pull away, and you obviously open yourself up a bit as well. And I'm sure extra cover was where he was trying to hit that ball, and yeah, he's just completely missed that. And that's the risk you take, though. If you're going to step away like that, you've really got to probably have a bit of a swing at the ball instead of. He may. We'll look at the replay. Maybe he was trying to guide that one. Let's have a look.
He just pulled out of the shot halfway through it.
It was kind of a nothing shot, wasn't it?
I think he was beaten for flight and beaten for turn as well. It certainly seemed to turn a bit too.
Yeah, I think he changed his mind at the last moment, and that was his undoing there, unfortunately.
So Foster, he won't be terribly happy with that innings, but Stockton 4 for 42.
So we have the new batsman in.
So he struck twice here, McGovern.
Yeah, he's bowling well, and as he keeps trying to gain the momentum over the batsman as well, try and get the over through quickly. It's sort of upsetting the batter's rhythm.
We might go down to Ben. Ben might be able to give us some figures on McGovern because he's bowling really well. He started off really well. He's been brought back into the tack, Ben, and he's causing the batsman a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he's bowled 1 point after that ball, so there's a single there. So he's got 2 for 10 off, that's the end of his second. So 2 for 10 off 2 overs, and he's bowled 5 dot balls.
Wow, there you go.
5 dot balls plus the 2 wickets, so 7 dot balls out of the 12 deliveries.
Yeah, that's an amazing statistic, I guess, in the form of T20 cricket. We never see really the dot balls happen so much.
No, and the other thing too with the slow bowlers, I mean, I remember when they first kicked off the T20, especially the Big Bash, they were worried about that they were going to lose a lot of spin bowlers. But in fact, as we said before, it actually has turned around the other way. It's more so the faster bowlers who are getting a bit of a hiding, aren't they?
So this is Thomas now. Of course, Crackers replaced Thomas up the top of the order at the start of the innings, and now Thomas is coming in.
Just quickly, Gareth, Crackers actually played us in 3rd grade a few weeks ago.
Well, there you go.
So Crackers has been called into the team. Maybe it was a late inclusion, I would say. Probably one of their players, one of their regular players, had to pull out at the last minute. So Crackers' mobile phone rang and he got the call.
He's been sitting on that mobile phone all week, just waiting for the call up. He got the call up and did a pretty good job of it, getting a few runs. Certainly all his family over there over at Stockton.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy coming from 3rd grade to play 1st grade T20, is it?
I can imagine, I guess, the general Washington, the wash tub at the moment, is going crazy with Bar TV over there. All the locals are over there watching their side.
It's a good establishment over there too, isn't it?
Oh, one of the best.
Yeah.
Good old school fun you can have in the wash tub.
Yeah, I haven't been there for a while, but the last time I was there, it was really good. And I mean,
nothing like it, is it?
I'm a big fan of Stockton anyway. Just the area, I think it's a great place, and I love being over there at Lynn Oval on a 35-degree day. Normally it's about 25. Nice breeze coming off the water. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's a picturesque oval too, and he's got hold of that one. That's going to be dispatched for 4. That's a nice shot there.
Yeah, good shot, and he certainly picked the gap there. They had a bloke on the boundary down there, but there was no way in the world he was going to get that. He hit that so well.
Well, he's a very balanced player, Thomas. We've seen a bit of him on the Bar TV coverage over the last couple of years. He has good poise, and he certainly put that one away emphatically. But that'll be a wide. Oh, no, wide. That was certainly a wide. Liam Taylor lucky there, the bowler.
Yeah, that one did look like it was a wide, but obviously the umpire there didn't think so. So, as you know, Gareth, you've got to go with the umpire's call.
And we love the umpires. They do a great job in the NDCA. Oh, that's the French cut.
You played a few of those in your time, Gareth?
That's my go-to shot. The French cut. Especially off really quick bowling. Yes. Nothing much getting scored in front of the stumps.
Well, I tell you what, it's a guaranteed run, isn't it? The old French cut.
the trick. You know, spinners always talk about their mystery balls, their trick ball. Well, that's the trick shot, isn't it?
That was the one for you.
That's the original trick shot
That's
before the ramp, the reverse sweep, the old French cut.
Now these
And we were actually speaking with Murray yesterday on the origins of the French cut, and Murray seemed to think that the French cut came from because you couldn't say the actual word that the French word meant, cut.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that how it all originated?
That's what he says. But if you're listening out there, Murray, not that I doubt you, but I'd like to get Pete's opinion on the definition, and that's a nicely struck hit for 4.
It is. That's 4. Yeah. Well, I'm with him. I'll stick with him. I mean, I've got no idea. I've never really even thought about how the French cut originated as far as the term was concerned. So obviously he might.
It makes sense.
He might have done a bit of homework on that.
Maybe. I'll send him home. I'll the Australian cricket side if he doesn't do his homework for tomorrow's match.
I tell you what we could do. We could Google it up in the break here. What about we do that and find out?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get young Ben on the boundary. He's got his feet up in the grandstand. I'm going to get him to have a look for us, and he'll get back to us in a couple of overs. And not a bad over there for Stockton.
Yeah, so we've got 9 overs completed, 4 for 55. So they're looking, what's that, 6 overs, 10 overs now?
That's 10 overs completed.
So
yeah.
just a 5.5 an over at this stage. So if they continue on this way, they'll just probably get over 100, which I don't think is going to be enough here. They need to sort of get themselves 130 if they can. From this point, it's going to be not easy, but if they can get that 130, they'll be fairly competitive.
I think the 130 definitely. We were saying yesterday, 130 is probably the par score on this pitch with the outfield now nicely cut and plenty of runs if it does get over the top too. So they're going to have to do something here as we now see Price coming back into the attack.
Yeah, I think the issue with the T20s is if you don't post a big score, straight away it puts so much pressure on your bowling, and you have to bowl, out of your skin basically to try and defend that total. So when you got 180 on the board, it's just you can afford to, your bowling can afford to see it be not as good as it would be if you're defending, say, 100. So if they can get over that 110, 120, and possibly 130, they'll be doing very well.
Here's Price. Oh, that's another good delivery there. And, of course, no team this season's Twilight T20 competition has chased down, I guess, a target set. So Wallsend, at the moment, they're in the box seat to do so. Stockton need to start turning on some runs here. They need to, I guess we mentioned 130 to score. I think 120 is probably a decent score, but on this pitch, I was thinking 140 is definitely a gettable target.
Yeah, I think so as well. So they'd be disappointed if they end up with, say, 110. They'll then think to themselves, well, we'd have to be 30, 40 runs short of where we should be. So, and that's when it comes down to the pressure of the bowlers. They've just got to bowl extremely tight, and also I think with this form of the game too, it's just your luck. If you can get luck go your way, it does swing the momentum into your favour.
I think this is a good change, having Price bowl here as well, and that throws off target. They do look for 2, but they don't go for it. Just to stem the flow of runs even more, just to really strangle them, I guess.
Yeah, put the brakes on. If you can put the brakes on, that's when the false shots start to come out from the batsman. So, and as we know, at this time of the game, they can have 5 fielders out in the boundary, so it does make it even more harder for the batsman to find the gaps.
Oh, he's flicked that off his pads. It might run all the way to the boundary, will it? There's a fielder in chase, but it's going to go all the way, and that's some well-timed runs there.
Handy 4 runs. You'll take them any day of the week, and not the best of balls. Probably Nathan Price's worst ball, that one, actually, but that was not a bad shot. You've got to get something on that. When it's down leg side, you've got to get something, a bit of pad, or if you get just a little bit of bat on it, and that one ran away for 4 runs. Yeah,
definitely, sure did, and he certainly got some bat on it. I thought it was pretty well timed, and Price, he gets that one a bit full. It's going to be close here. Direct hit would have been out, but they pushed through for a single, so a decent over here for Stockton.
Yeah, that was a full bunger, that one, but he got it away for a single.
Peter, I'm just wondering, Jeff Canninnan is out of this game this afternoon. Do you know why that is?
No, I've no idea. Maybe it's a work-related thing, or he might have some sort of an injury. I mean, no, I haven't heard why he's out. No.
I do seem to remember last year as well. He did struggle to get to these Twilight T20 games.
See, it is when it's a 5 o'clock start, it is pretty hard on the players with their work commitments as well to try and get away from work. So. More than likely, it could be a work issue, and they'll miss him today. I mean, he's a really good player.
Of course,
I was thinking that's a big blow for Stockton. Him being out is their leading run scorer this year.
Yes, and well, if you do know where Jeff Canninnan is, where's Jeff? At Bar TV Sports on Twitter. Let us know. Hashtag Bar TV Sports as well. We'd like to know if you are listening out there, Jeff. Are you just in your air conditioning, or are you at work, or maybe you're out surfing?
Yeah, or he could have a little injury that he's a bit worried about, and he doesn't want to, do any more damage to it before the weekend's game. So there's obviously a reason that he can't make it.
But take nothing away from this Wallsend attack. They've been very well drilled here in the field, and their bowling has been on target for the most of the match. Couple of wides, no ball, and that's hit straight to the fielder.
Maybe Crackers. Maybe that was the late inclusion.
I'd say that's why Crackers has come in. Definitely.
This is good bowling.
Pretty sure in his player bio of Crackers, it also says he wants to be like Jeff Canninnan.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he wants to be like Jeff Canninnan, he's going down the right path.
He's on his way.
He's a pretty good player.
So another good ball there by the captain, Montgomery. Really throwing in the sharp ones here, isn't he?
Yeah, he's getting through the over pretty quickly here.
Sharpened the darts.
As you can see, the bowler's just getting to his stance, and he's coming in. That's a single.
Yeah, that was a bit more looser, a bit short, going down leg side. They probably could have done a bit more with that one. They would have liked to have done a bit more than that one, the batting side there, the Stockton side.
Yeah, quick single here.
It's going to be close. Oh, that's going to be gone. Yes, it is. It's out. The umpire next to me called it. The umpire on the ground called it. And that was good fielding there by the Wallsend side.
It was. There was a slick bit of fielding. And, yeah, I think he was out by a little bit. Not too much, but even I could tell up here that was a little bit short. So that's another wicket down for Stockton. 5 for 63. Yeah, so I guess at this stage of the game, they've got to make a decision. There's the replay. Let's have a look.
Yeah, definitely well short there, and good throw, sharp to the keeper, and he did his job there, Forsyth, and that's a good wicket there.
Yeah, he wasn't out by much, but good keeping though. That was very good wicket keeping.
As we go now to Ben. Ben?
If my scoring is correct, reading this, I'm pretty sure Montgomery's last 13 deliveries have gone for just 1 run.
Well, there you go. He has been very miserly, hasn't he? He's bowling out of his skin, and I guess this hurry-up form of bowling that he's doing, it's so effective.
And it is effective, and I've seen other bowlers do it as well, and it just makes the batsman not give them much time to think about where they're going to put the next ball, where they're going to find their next run, and it's a pretty good tactic. But I think as a batsman, you've got to also just try and give yourself a bit of time.
Yeah, so McGovern.
And we do notice here too, Gareth, sorry to butt in there, that the 2 spinners working tandem has been going well for them, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was just about to say. McGovern coming in now to keep up this partnership there. Was hit back at him. He couldn't get a hand to it. It was bumped into the ground, though. Not a catching opportunity, so... Gee, he doesn't like getting his hand to that ball, does he?
He missed it twice there.
Got it out of the way twice.
Yeah.
Missed it. He pulled it away quicker than shoplifting some mint patties.
Yes.
Oh, he's floated that one up. Full toss. I'll get to it. Oh, the fielder's come in very quick there.
I think as a batsman too, with the spinners on, with the full tosses, you're tempted to, try the maximums, but you can get yourself out too by playing a silly shot.
Oh, and he's had a nice shot down the ground there as well, on the ground. Brooks will come in again. Nice throw back to the bowler, so just restricting them to one again.
Yeah, he used his feet there too, and I'd probably like to see Stockton maybe just do a little bit more than that, try and upset the line of the bowler, because that's what it does when you're coming down the track to them. They've got to think about where they're going to put the next one.
He's coming around the wicket as well, so just reducing the angle for the batsman too.
And the thing too is that was just like the old traditional in the backyard hit and run. That's what he did there. It's just he's just got it on the bat and off they go. So if they can try a little bit more of that and rotate this strike, they'll score a few.
Made a bit of room there. Oh, just short of the fielder. There's a big mix-up as well, and the throw not on target, and they're going to go for runs. No, they're not. The heart rate's racing out there, and they'll stick with staying at each other's ends. Wow, what a mix-up. It was almost a catch.
It was nearly like, yes, no, wait. Yeah, it was one of those situations, wasn't it? It could have come a bit nasty there. Unfortunately, that for Wallsend, the throw wasn't all that great.
Yeah, hit nicely down the ground again. He's playing very well straight here, isn't he?
Well, there's a run there all the time, mid-off, mid-on. If you can get the ball down there, you'll get one single per over, but I still think that maybe 6 and over at the moment for them. Stockton, maybe not enough.
So this is Foster out there as well in the 12.
Well, normally in one-day matches, you say look at the score at 30 overs and double it, and that's sort of what you get at the end. So if you look at the score now, I think you could probably double it, and that's what they aim for if they can keep wickets in hand.
Yeah, definitely. And what's the feeling like down there too, Ben? Do you think they're confident enough to get to it?
Yeah, I think they've got the batting in the shed for Stockton, definitely. I think I'm thinking, just the fact they're 5 wickets down is going to make it tough to get to 130, 140. So see how they go.
Very good, and thanks to Ben down there on the boundary, doing a great job getting all the stats for us today. It's too hot out there to be getting the interviews, that's for sure.
I think that was a leg by.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely leg by. As he pats his knee.
What a beautiful day, Gareth. I mean, this is a sensational day to play cricket.
Well, I think I said it to you last week, didn't I? If you're a landscape painter, you'd be up with us and paint this beautiful scenery.
There you go. There's a single.
I know. I've Instagrammed it.
Going quickly here. This could be close. Good running. That was excellent running.
Putting pressure on the field.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? That's the other thing when you're batting too, is you've got to realise that there are times in the game where you need to take on the fielders, and with these guys playing each other, all the time, they know who the good fielders are from the fielders that are not so good.
So Jenkinson goes over the top. A fielder's coming around. I don't think he's going to get there, and it looks like it's going to be a 4. No, 6, says the umpire. From our angle, it may have just dropped a bit short, but the umpire definitely says 6. He got helped out by the members of the scoring shed there.
Yes, it always is handy when you got guys who are a bit closer to you when you're out there umpiring, so that was a handy 6.
Well, Jenkinson knows he has to go now. And that's a good shot, and that'll do their run rate. No harm at all, that 6.
No, it won't, and yes, Jenkinson needs to stay there now. If he can continue on and bat out the next 6 overs or so, Stockton could, as we said, double that score to about 130, and that's where they really would want to be, and that'll make him fairly competitive for the second half of the game.
So here comes Taylor. Yeah, nice blocking it back to the bowl. That's a better line there by Taylor. 5 for 77. This is a good over here for Stockton.
Yeah, Jenkinson is the key for Stockton now. If he can, hit a few 4s, maybe the odd 6, that'll take the score up to where they need it to be. If he gets out, well, that changes the scope of the game again.
Yeah, nice quick single there. 2 in it if they can push. Oh, there's a mix-up again. So, yeah, just a bit itchy and good fielding by Wallsend there.
Yeah.
I don't think there was 2 in that.
Yeah, well, it would have had to been a quick second run there, but again, if it was like the last over, maybe they would have went and tried to get that second run there. So, what is it, 5 for 78 after 14 overs?
Yep, 5 for 78. So that's a better over for Stockton anyway. 8 runs from it.
Got a quick stat, Gareth.
I love it. I love it, Ben.
Liam Taylor, he's in the top 4 bowlers that have bowled the most overs for Wallsend this year. He's been their most expensive in the first grade competition of those top 4 for Wallsend. So I think Stockton may have targeted him today. His 2 overs have gone for 22.
Yeah, well, he's expensive, as you said, Ben, and they've had a good crack at him here. They haven't been able to get hold of this man coming through now.
Yeah, I think all teams, particularly in this competition, have their targets when it comes to the bowlers. They feel as though they can score a few runs off, and I'm sure that each team has 1 or 2 bowlers they'd like to get after.
So McGovern definitely... Oh, that's close. And the umpire's given it. He's out. He's out of his ground, and Foster will return to the dugout.
Yeah, I think bat in the air. Let's watch the replay here, but that looked like it was bat in the air to me.
Yeah, definitely. He tried to get back. He dived. He was in full flight, but out.
Yeah, not a single there at all. I don't understand why they even thought about it, contemplating a single there. So it'll be interesting once the replay comes up here to see what happens.
I guess it's the pressure of this really good bowling by Wallsend. As we look at the replay now, came down. Jenkinson sent him back, and I think he was out of his ground.
Yeah.
And bat up. And
yeah, he was trying to get the bat in. Maybe a bit in the air there, but he was well short.
Yeah, definitely. There was no single on there at all. They've got itchy feet here, the Stockton side, as we see now Kelly coming on.
It's just that pressure with the dot balls, and as Ben has been telling us, there's been a lot of dot balls in this innings, and that's when that sort of stuff happens. You start to take little gambles like that, and that, unfortunately for them, just didn't pay off.
Jenkinson just getting a new set of gloves as well. So you can see the humid conditions out there really affecting. He hasn't been out there all that long. He's been out there for probably, I guess, 10 overs.
Yeah, I really don't think the conditions are going to change a lot in this game at all. I think they're going to pretty much remain the same. I really can't see the conditions changing too much.
So here's McGovern again. Oh, there's an edge on that, but it's going to go for runs here. Can the fielder get to it before the boundary? The outfield's very fast. He does so. They're going to go for 3, and it's going to be tight.
No, good running.
Yeah, good running there. He's well home in the end.
Yeah, no, that was good running from Stockton. And those shots, I mean, in this form of the game, you just take those shots anyway. Probably not what you call the most stylish shot, but when it comes to T20, you take runs where you can.
So the sight screen just getting adjusted here. Bale's getting put back on.
So what do you think, Gareth? I mean, you've seen all the teams so far. Who has really impressed you in all the teams at this stage?
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely Hamwick's yesterday. They were just unbelievable, and I guess University were pretty good. They're probably my 2 picks so far. But then, even City and even I guess Charlestown as well. They look pretty good too.
Yeah, I thought Charlestown were looking pretty strong. Actually, I think that they're in for a big chance this season to make the final. So I like this year because you sit back and you think, oh well, who is going to make the final this year? It's the way it is panning out at the moment to try and pick who it's going to be.
As we were saying yesterday, Hamwicks are probably the only team that bat all the way to 11 as well. So that definitely helps in this format of the game.
And as we know, they've got some players who can hit the ball a long way, and that's what you need too. You need 1 or 2 or maybe 3 players that can certainly turn a game around very quickly.
That's a full toss there. So nicely fielded. It's going to be close. It was very close. He got in by the tail of his bat there.
Yeah.
Wow, it was a good delivery, a good fielding as well.
Well, that was just good cricket all around. It was. The ball was a full toss, obviously. Went to the field and he picked it up and threw it straight away, and obviously some good running there. So all around good cricket there.
Well, he pounced on it with one hand and he caught it sort of backwards behind him and he just launched it in. It would have been a classic run out.
Yeah, it's amazing with the modern day players these days how much they've improved in their fielding, and some players in this comp, they're just unbelievable in their fielding. They just got great arms, and they just know how to pick the ball up quickly and get it in quickly. So, and in T20, that's what you need to do. If you're on the boundary, you've got to have a good arm, and you've got to make sure that you get to the ball very quickly and release it as fast as you can as well to get it back into the stumps.
Yes, definitely. And Ben's got something else for us at home down there. Ben, what's happening?
I was just going to add to what Peter was saying about how even the comp is. I think this imports rule has been a great addition in terms of rules for the comp, because it's really evened out, especially in for Charlestown with Tim Crawford. He was outstanding.
Yeah, no, I think the actual introduction of the imports rule has been a good one, and makes the competition more interesting as well. I'm pretty sure it's up to the clubs if they want to bring the imports in.
Yeah, they don't have to bring the imports in. I was speaking to Paul Marjorie Banks before. Some clubs haven't. We saw yesterday Hamwick's didn't have the imports in, and Wallsend have utilised it. So let's see. They've got 2 imports here. Of course, Price, who has been with the club prior, and of course, young Sicilian. Apparently, Sicilian is one of the highest rated up and coming batters in the Sydney competition as well. So I can't wait to see him out there.
And that's the other thing too with the import rule. You get to see players that you don't normally see play. So it's a great attraction for the competition as a whole, really.
So they're looking for 2 here. It's going to be close again. He goes to the wicketkeeper. I thought the bowler's end was the end that they should have gone to there.
Yeah, I think wrong end there, but I think they probably both would have been fairly safe. That was another good 2 runs there. Clicking the score along here. What have we got? 6 for 87.
Yeah, 6 for 87. It's not really where they wanted to be. They would have wanted to be around that 110 mark here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think after 15 overs you've got to be at least over 100 if you could, but they've still got a few overs left, and anything could happen.
And nicely pushed through there. They'll look for 2, but Jenkinson puts his arm up and says, no thank you. Young Mr. Kelly. I don't want any part of it.
No.
Oh, he's gone for that one. There's a fielder out there, though. Didn't really place it too well, so just pick up the single. It was hit very hard, though.
Yeah, it was. Possibly he was trying to go down the ground. I mean, there's plenty of room down the ground for boundaries, and a bit of a miss hit there too. So
yeah, it just didn't really get everything on it, but it was hit very hard.
Well, it was probably a good thing he didn't, because it might have went down to the man down there.
And that'll be over there. Another good over. Ben, how's it going down there? What's cooking?
Very, very interesting stat. The fast bowlers, the quick men, have bowled 8 overs combined, 56 runs. The spinners have bowled 8 overs combined, only 35 runs have come off them.
Well, there you go. So you see how important spin is. Do you think... just one question before you go, Ben. Have the spinners got any more overs left? I think Montgomery has 1, doesn't he?
Yeah, McGovern is bowled. He's out, and Montgomery I just didn't get who bowled that over just then. If Montgomery bowled that over, he's done.
He didn't bowl that over.
So he's got 1 left.
There we go. And Wicks is coming back in to the attack here. Is used sparingly early on, so he'll probably bowl out here. And here he comes. And again, good line, a good length by Wicks. He's a very upright-looking bowler, isn't he?
Yeah, he gets through the crease, though. I think I don't mind the way he bowls. I think that, as I said before, he's one of these bowlers that really digs in and tries to get your wickets. So, and he charges in, and I think
he does charge in, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think a lot of fast bowlers, need to do that too.
He's got a very low arm action as well. He sort of drags his arm around behind him almost. Yeah,
well, it's like anything with bowling. If you feel comfortable with something, you've got to sort of stick with it if you can. And you don't. I think with bowling too, you don't want to try and vary it too much. You don't want to be trying to change things around too much. If you're feeling comfortable with your action and it's been successful, you probably shouldn't change too much.
Yeah, definitely, and he certainly hits the pitch pretty hard as well. Comes through for another one, and that's a nice full ball. Hits the pads. Umpire unmoving.
Yeah, and the way that he's bowling now, if you go and watch a game on the weekend on a Saturday, he'll bowl like that all the time. He'll just keep continuing to charge in. He just doesn't seem to let up, which is really good. And it's a great thing for the younger fast bowlers who might be watching today. Is if you've got good fitness. And I mean, fast bowling is not just about bowling fast. It's about a lot of things.
Well, definitely. He looks very fit as well, doesn't he, out there? That one a little bit slower, and it's been dispatched for 4. So Jenkinson moves along. He looks like the man who, in the next few overs, he really has to unleash. But he also has to stay there too.
He does, yeah. He's got 2 roles to play. Stay there till the end, and, obviously, when the bad ball comes along, just like that one, that was short down leg side. He's got to capitalise on those ones, and that occasion he did. I mean, Wicks hasn't bowled that many balls like that, so he hasn't had too many opportunities. But when they come along, you've got to take them in T20.
Well, let's see how he goes here. That's another shorter ball. There's a fielder coming around. It won't go all the way. They're going to go for another run here. It's going to be trouble! Oh, and he's in again.
Yeah, good running.
Very good running. The umpire says no. It must have been very close. Wicks was confident.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on batsmen when it comes down to the final overs. You've got to, run as hard as you can, and you've got to take those risks as well, take the fielder on, and that's exactly what they did there. They just simply took the fielder on.
They sure did. Oh, he's turned and stood, and he's delivered there, and that's another 4.
Similar ball to the one that he was hit with for a few deliveries ago. As a matter of fact, if you had a replay on both those balls, they'd be just about identical. And he's played exactly the same shot. So probably in that over, there was just 2 loose ones. So that was the difference. 2 loose balls, 8 runs, 2 fours. And
6 for 101, so that brings up the 100.
Yeah. So that 130 is still in the realms of possibility here in 3 overs.
Yeah, definitely 3 overs remaining, and 10 runs and over. It can be done. We saw it yesterday. It can be done in 1 over.
It certainly can, and they've still got a few batsmen in the sheds as well, so that's a bit handy. It's not like they're 8 or 9 down at this stage. They're only 6 down, so they can afford to maybe take a risk or 2 right now.
Of course, taking all the risks on Sunday yourself.
I always
Pete,
take plenty of risks.
On your show, you can call in on 2HD.
Yeah, anytime between 8 and 11. And actually this weekend, I'm working a little bit extra this weekend, Gareth. I'm working
Sunday rates.
Working the 7 a.m. to midday shift on Saturday. So
very good.
So people can call in if they want.
Very good. So call in, let Peter know what you're thinking, all your thoughts for the day, all the issues happening out there. He's your man as they get a couple here. The Stockton side's going to be well run again, so definitely turning the 1s into 2s here.
Yeah, they've come back quite well here, actually, and they just need to now continue on for the final, what have we got, 2.5 overs or something left?
2.4 is it?
2.4 or something, yeah. So if they can sort of keep the momentum going here and get the odd boundary and a few 6s, that'll be a bit of a bonus for them right now.
Well, Jenkinson, he looks rattled out there. He's on his haunches. And that's hit over the top. It's going to find some space. And they'll go for 2. Oh, no, they won't. Oh, the throw isn't the best. Jenkinson calls him through and giving up the wicket. And see you later, young fella, I think Jenkinson just said then.
Yeah.
You're taking that one.
Well, he just seemed to go up the other end and say, OK, we're off for the second. And his partner, I don't think
he wasn't going.
Well, he wasn't interested at all, was he?
No, not at all. But I guess when your senior players coming up the pitch, what do?
Yeah.
You just go for it and you try and get in. And it was a poor throw anyway. So he would have been in.
That's right. It's all about trying to think about what you're doing at this stage of the game.
Yeah, there's a few wickets in hand. He's just... I think he should have gone through in the run.
Well, that's what you need to do, don't you? And if at worst...
As we look at the replay here...
Now, he's mishit that.
Yeah, he didn't get the best shot on that.
There's a fumble.
And the ball's way over the head. It didn't even get in the picture.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the guy at the other end who got himself out there, I don't think that running was very good at all.
Yeah, that was Kelly who decided not to run there.
Now, there's certainly one. They would have at least got one there, and then obviously come back for the throw.
Yeah, went for 2.
Yeah, maybe there was just a bit of miscommunication there with the batsman there. Maybe he didn't hear the call.
So lose the man coming in. Lucas in the 10.
Okay, so there's still plenty of room down the ground if you can manufacture some shots down there. Certainly over mid-off.
Yeah, mid-off's the area, isn't it? We'll just see where this fielder comes in that just moved the sight screen, though. It looks like he might be positioning himself over that way.
And they've got a man down there in deep extra cover there. So I'd say if you want to go here, it would be over mid-off.
So nicely hit there. They'll go through for a single.
The thing with this down the ground though, you really got to hit it straight. You can't mishit it because they've got 2 fieldsmen there who will just converge in on the ball. So if you're going to go that way, you just need to get right onto it and try and pierce those 2 fieldsmen.
Well, Pat McGann's on now, who is the best of the bowlers at the start of the innings, I think. The best of the fast bowlers in any case. And Jenkinson's on strike. What's he got in him? I reckon he's going to go over mid-wicket here. Gets it along the ground.
Yeah, he beat the fielder there that was in close, and then obviously there was a fielder on the boundary there. So I mean that's 1 run. That's 1 additional run to the total. So they all count at this stage of the innings.
Do you think he looks to retain the strike now for the next over?
Well, I would think so. If he can try and do that and try and get the strike as much as possible, I mean, he's probably the key to them getting to 130.
Well, there's still the 3 wickets in hand. I really think he's got to throw the bat at this one. He does. They'll get a run. So 1 more ball remaining. They'll look to rotate the strike. Do you think they rotate the strike or he goes for it?
Oh, that's a tough question. I would presume that he'll either try and go for it, and then if he mishits it or whatever, he'll still get the 1 anyway. So either way, you've got to take a risk either way. So
7 for 107 is the score. He goes for it, hits it back down past the bowler. He did go straight, but didn't get enough on it there, Pete.
Yeah, it was pitched up. So I think under the circumstances there, the shot that he played there was probably the right one, and just to get that single and get the strike at the other end with just that 2 overs left to go now. I suppose now really you've just got to make a decision. What are you going to do in this over? Do you need to come down the track? Do you need to move around the crease a little bit? Just try and upset the bowler's rhythm as much as possible.
Looks like Price is going to have the last ball over of his spell here. He's been very good as well, Price.
Yeah, he's bowled 3 overs.
So they got a 3rd man.
3 overs for 15 Price. 3 overs for 15 so far.
Yeah, it's pretty economical, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely very economical in T20. And he's gone over the top there. There's a little bit of space. They'll push for 2, will they? Yes, they will. And there's a misfield, so good running there by the batsman. Pressure on the field.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's the key to when you're batting in the latter overs here, is the fieldsman is, he's obviously trying to get to the ball quickly, get rid of it quickly, and sometimes they fumble. And as soon as they fumble, there's always that second run.
So coming in now is Price. Oh, he's gone over the top there. It will find space. Kind of created that shot for himself. They'll get 2. Nice running there by Jenkinson.
Yeah, well, if they can continue to keep getting the 2s in this over, you get 6 by 2 is 12. Last time I went to school, 12 in this over would be very handy.
Yeah, definitely. That definitely pushes them up around 120, so we'll see who takes the ball. I'm guessing it'll be the captain, Montgomery, in the last over. Oh, he's whipped that off his pads. Could go all the way for 4. I think it will. It'll run on here. Oh, no, it just slows up down there. The low end of number 1 sports ground, is it?
Yeah,
a little bit boggy.
Yeah, it did actually slow up towards the boundary there. Those sort of balls, I actually call them the captain killer, because obviously he's got his fine leg was up.
That's right.
In the circle there, and you know, one of the things you got to do is not bowl down leg side, because he'll just whip it over the top and over his head, and that's exactly what happened there. So when you got your fine leg up like that, you've got to make sure you stick with off stump.
So here's young Lucas facing up. Oh, he's gone for that one. Nicely struck, but there is a fielder down there.
Yeah, this is not a bad over. If they can get to the 120, how many balls left in the over now?
Two deliveries left.
Yeah, two. So if they can get 5 runs off the next 2 balls, it'll take him to 121, and then they can work up to that 130 mark.
So what's Jenkinson got in him here? Steps down the ground. Will pick up a single for his effort.
Yeah, the field's been pretty quick onto that one there. They weren't real keen for the 2 there, and I don't think there would have been two there anyway. So that was a good choice just to knock it for a single.
Yeah, definitely. And you'll think now Jenkinson will retain the strike.
Yeah, well, a boundary should be a huge bonus here. He can maybe get a boundary somewhere.
Oh, and he won't get a boundary. He'll get bowled. Price knew what was coming. Price knew he was going to step down the ground. He bowled it nicely at his stumps. Direct hit, and that is out.
And I guess the perfect delivery in this situation, isn't it? That's what you want to do when the batsmen are going for it, and he took the middle stump right out of the ground, so that was a very good ball.
Yeah, well, definitely he wasn't saving his wicket, was he? He had to take the shot. It was important he tried to get the boundaries. Look at the replay here. Yeah, that was either going or
yeah. I mean, there's
going home.
There's probably a lot of players who play first grade that wouldn't be able to hit that one. So that was just a good ball at the right time and
on the money, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You know, that was
middle stump. That's the stuff fast bowlers dream of that, don't they?
They do, and isn't it nice to see the middle stump sort of flying out of the ground, and that's what, as you say, that's what fast bowlers love seeing. So we're. Is this the final over?
Yeah, coming into the last ball. Last over. Yeah, I thought there was one more ball remaining.
Jenkinson is on 42, so see if he can get his 50 this over.
Yeah, 42. There's one more ball remaining though, as McGann has the ball.
Yeah, I think the last thing that would be on his mind is getting 50 runs anyway. I think all he's worrying about now is to try and get as many runs as he can off this over, even if they can get that 13, 14 they need for 130.
Here's McGann. Oh, he's had a big swing of that, Jenkinson. So the final over.
That was a good ball in the right areas as well. So it just makes it so hard that when you're chasing runs, that if you get good deliveries like that, you just got to get bat on ball somehow.
It's a good fight back here, though, by Stockton. They looked out of it, didn't they? They didn't look like they'd even cracked the 100 mark at one stage. The bowling from Wallsend was very tight, but they've really opened up the last three overs, I guess. And Jenkinson now, what can he do for his side? McGann, he's been the pick of the fast bowlers today. He's coming in for his second. He's stepped up to that. They're going to have to go for 2, are they? Yes, they're going to go for 2. It's going to be close. Oh, nicely run there. Well done.
Yeah, that was nice running. Very nice running, and that's what they need to do for the remainder of this over, is if they don't quite get the boundaries, they just need to take the risks and get their 2s.
So here he is, McGann, the man on screen. Coming in. What's Jenkinson got? Steps down the ground. There's no fielder there. It's over the fence for 6. So that is a timely 6 there, I guess.
Yeah. if you want to hit 6s, the last over is a good one to do it, and that was a 6 that Stockton desperately needed, and that takes them up to 125.
And I'm pretty sure, and Ben Holmes is just about to confirm it for me, that brings up his 50, Ben.
Exactly right, and what a way to do it, but...
Yeah, what a way to do it. That's how every batsman wants to bring up any sort of score where you raise the bat.
Yeah, and he's done well after he was out there with Nick Foster for a while, and then he was losing a few wickets. A few of his teammates were heading back to the sheds. He's done well.
So he steps over there. I thought they were going to look for a run, but Well done, McGann. He was up to the task.
Yeah, that was a good ball right up there, where it's very hard to get it away. So what have we got? Just a couple of balls left in the over now?
Yeah, there's a couple remaining. Where's Jenkinson going to go now? They've
Well, I think maybe the same
covered
area.
the fence.
They've covered. They've got a fieldsman down there now.
There's runs
Straight,
square.
just straight if you can hit it straight.
He's whipped that a bit more square. It's going to go to the fence, and there was runs there. They moved the fielder, and that is well struck and well timed by Jenkinson.
That's a good shot. That was just what they needed to, was just that boundary, and that takes them to 129. So if you can maybe get another one here, they'll get over the 130, which is a good effort from where they were.
Yeah, definitely. Jenkinson, he's toiled throughout the innings, hasn't he? He's got the ones, he's got the twos, and now he's getting the boundaries and getting his side Stockton towards a very decent score. And he's gone for that one as well. There's a fielder there. He's misjudged, and it's a 6. Nice work by Jenkinson. So that will be the end of the Stockton innings. And that is a good way to end it, Peter.
It is. That was an ideal shot there. The fieldsman, he was a bit sort of in two minds where to go there. He came in, and then all of a sudden he realised that the ball was going over his head, and that was an excellent finish for Stockton. And to get 135, when they were at 10 overs, they looked as though they were lucky to get 100. So they've done extremely well.
They were only on 55 runs at the 10 over mark. So yeah, that is a testament to Jenkinson, and I guess the guys he formed partnerships throughout. That they fell away from him, but he managed to keep digging on, and the players that came out, they did their job as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I keep saying, and I'll keep saying it as well. If you can get that one player just to stick in there for the whole innings, you're going to win more games than you're going to lose games when it comes to T20 cricket.
Yeah, that's right. And Ben, what's the feeling down there? 135. It's a decent target to chase.
Well, I just think that last over, the momentum from that last over, 18 off it. Pat McGann went for 17 in his first 3 overs. He went for 18 in that 1 over, and I think it could come down to that last over if Wallsend don't get it over the line this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of bowling, who was the best bowler out there? We know Jenkinson certainly was the best with the bat.
I would have to go Montgomery. I've got him 4 overs for 13.
I was very surprised Montgomery didn't bring him on one more time there and have that last over. He was very miserly.
Yeah, no, the spinners did well. I thought they were probably the outstanding part of that innings actually for Wallsend, was the fact that the slower bowlers were much more effective than the quicker bowlers there. So I guess it is a surprise that he didn't bring himself on, unless we've miscounted, of course. I'm not sure.
I'm unsure whether he did bowl 3 or 4. If he bowled 3, he went for 7. If he bowled the 4, then he went for 13. So that's an outstanding performance from the captain. So that's going to be an interesting chase, I think, Gareth, for Wallsend. We'll see how much they've got. They've got some good young bowlers. They've also got some good young batsmen, so we'll get to see them later tonight.
Yeah, very good. And we'll just take a quick break here for the NDCA Twilight T20 competition, brought to you by the Commonwealth Bank. And we're live on Bar TV Sports, and we're back with you in about 5 minutes' time with Pete Davis, Gareth Waswick, and of course Ben Homer on the boundary. So we're back, everybody, for Bar TV's coverage of the NDCA Twilight T20 competition, and brought to you by the Commonwealth Bank and, of course, Kingsgrove Sports as well. With us up here, Pete Davis. Pete, emphatic innings, 141 actually. The old scoreboard was a bit slow catching up with all that fast scoring at the end there.
It was, and they've ended up with 141, which is a great effort considering, as we said, in the 10 over mark they were 55. So they've scored like 80, 90 runs in that last 10 overs, which is outstanding. And I think that's set them up now. They would probably be coming on here thinking to themselves, well, hang on a second. We've got an opportunity to win this game now. So this first 6 overs is going to be very important.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I had written them off at the 10 over mark. They were 55 runs. I thought, well... And it got worse towards 15 overs. They only added another 20 overs, so that's 4 runs and over. And those last 5 overs, they just went for it.
Well, as we were saying during the call there, the Jenkinson for them was the key for him to stay out there to the end, and it made a huge difference that he stayed there. If they would have lost him, they wouldn't have got to 141. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, definitely the difference out there. So, what can the batters do? Price is out there. Price at the striker's end. Of course, we mentioned before he has that 100 in Sydney grade cricket this year, and Clark will be with him as well, opening the batting for the Wallsend innings.
Yeah, well, as we know, Price can hit a pretty big ball, so he'll just be looking to again, as we say, try and stay there as long as he possibly can, and I think Wallsend will be looking for that 50 if they can around that 6 over mark. If they can get that 50 runs around 6 overs, they've got a big chance of winning this game. But if Stockton can reduce them down, it could be an interesting game.
Well, here comes Warren with the first ball. Stockton bowling. And that's going to be called a wide. Yes, it is. So the loosener. We haven't seen too many. Everyone's in this series been on the money.
Yeah, you don't. It's like anything when you're playing the shorter form of the game. As a bowler, you got to try and make sure that you don't bowl too many wides, or certainly no balls. You don't want to be bowling no balls with a free hit. So, but it is difficult too when you've only got 20 overs. So you've got to be on the spot from the very first ball.
So here comes Warren again. Price gets a nice little single off the mark. So their intention to clear. They're going to run on everything and. Yeah. I guess look to hit over the top as well when they can.
Just a nice feeling to get off the mark, and also just get a bit of bat on the ball as well. Just nice feel, and then you sort of build it up from there. So they don't want too many dot balls early on Wallsend, otherwise they could find themselves in a bit of strife early on too. So they'll be trying to do what Stockton weren't doing in the first innings there. They'll be trying to make sure they get that rotation to the strike up and running very early.
Yeah, that's right. Here's Warren. And Clark, you'll notice Bert written on the back of his uniform there, but it is actually Clark in the 19.
Yep. This guy is very impressive. I haven't seen Warren bowl too much. Again, this season I haven't seen much of Stockton this year either, but I think it was a washout game, but this fella he impresses me, and I think he impresses a lot of players and also a lot of people in the know here in Newcastle. He bowls quite sharp, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. And that's a sharp one. It's been hit away, and he's dropped it. He's dropped it in the deep. It was a hard catch to take.
Crackers has put that one down.
Young Crackers up there in the top grade, down at third man, the position no one wants to be at, and I tell you what, he probably doesn't want to be there right now.
No, certainly, when you drop a ball like that early on, and he probably doesn't get a lot of that in third grade, so that was a huge challenge for him, and I would imagine he was thinking to himself when he first came out, thought, I hope the ball doesn't follow me, and here we are, 3 or 4 balls in.
It's going to go to him all day. And he's left that one, Price. So dot ball to follow up that one, and we'll go down to the boundary. Ben, you've had a little bit of a break there. Got your uni results, mate?
I have.
How'd you go?
I did all right. Got accepted into the course I wanted, so that's
yeah,
right.
Nice. Well, there we go. What are we studying first before we get into it?
Communications and law.
Oh, look out! So anyone out there needing a future lawmaker or future communicator, Ben Homer's our man.
Communicating expert here.
Oh, that's in the air. It's over the top. Nicely hit there by Price. Very hard for 4. Sorry, Ben. We were going to You're going to tell me something actually meaningful, because university for me wasn't very meaningful.
I was, yeah. Communication is an interesting name for a course, but anyway. I was going to say, down here on the boundary, Crackers. I think they've tried to hide him down there at third man.
Of course they have.
Amazing.
He's not hiding, is he?
I think in T20 cricket, you can't hide anybody because the ball can go anywhere, anytime. So I understand that he's down there. And I'd say his heart would have been racing when the ball was coming down to him and thinking, I've got to catch this. But it was a tough chance for him.
Oh, he's had a slash at that one there, Price. So well done to our boundary rider, Ben Homer, for getting accepted into the University of Newcastle. So it's good. We have a good relationship at Bar TV with the University of Newcastle. If you are listening in, always looking for guys on the cameras and producers. And, of course, guys like Ben looking to maybe test themselves behind the mic. You have to grab it off me, though.
Yeah, well, you're the number one commentator, Gareth, aren't you?
Number 5. I'm the 24th best in Australia.
The 24th?
At nothing, yes.
Best at nothing?
Yeah.
Well, what's that make me, 48th or something?
You're up there. You've got your own show. You're Kicking Goals, of course, that show on 2HD. You can hear on Sunday. And you're in the morning shift this week.
Yep, 7 till midday on Saturdays as well, so I've got a bit of extra work this weekend.
There you go.
But that just means I can't umpire this weekend, unfortunately. Except for Sunday, the T20s, and hopefully that's going to happen with the weather.
Yeah, I think it will, and we'll go back down to Ben. Ben was going to give us a stat before we got wrapped up in all his achievements.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to say I have a stat. I was just going to ask who's the number one commentator.
Number one commentator?
Could be a debate.
It's got to be Craig Hamilton, hands down.
That's right.
Not a debate.
No debate. No debate needed at all. he should do more commentary.
And here comes Eaton into bowl. Of course, Craig, a big fan of Bar TV as well.
And the other good thing about Bar TV too, Gareth, is your sponsors. There's so many great sponsors on board, isn't there too?
Yeah, definitely. We're slowly picking it up for our winter sports season. Plenty of big announcements to come in the following months, so we'll keep that one under wraps at the moment. And of course, all the associations out there, we have a revenue share with them as well. So here we go. Here's another ball, and that's so the money going back into grassroots is what we are all about here, promoting grassroots sport, which we think we do all right at.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is the Commonwealth Bank, who have put a lot of effort and a lot of resources into Newcastle cricket over a few years now, and to have such a fantastic organisation on board, to be around and put a lot back into cricket in general. So it's been absolutely fantastic.
It certainly has, and ball comes in the short, and it's cut away, nicely struck there by Price. It's fair to say that if Price stays around, this score will be pretty well reached.
Yeah, I think if he can stick in here and if he bats right through, they'll get the runs, I think, fairly easily here. So he's the man that Stockton need to get out and get him out very shortly. Otherwise, he could prove the man that is the difference between them winning or losing.
Oh, that's high up in the air. There's no one there, so down the ground. Is it going to go all the way? No, it's going to stay still. So they'll run there. And, of course, another great sponsor for this competition is Kingsgrove Sports, doing so much for cricket in Newcastle as well. Go and see Jody Whitehead for your latest grey nickel scoop or whatever your poison.
I'll tell you what, he's great. When you go to Kingsgrove, particularly during the cricket season, he's always there to give you some handy advice, and in my case, he's always there to save me a bit of money as well. Because when you've got a young cricketer who wants everything, he basically just says, well, mate, you don't need that. This is what you need. And no, you don't need that. You need this. So I think he does an outstanding job down there. And Kingsgrove Sport, a great sponsor of Bar TV.
Yeah, that's right. And he's definitely not, he's not out there pushing everything on you, which is good. And I was just looking at the field there. There's plenty of space there on the onside. And they'll get a couple of runs there, mix up. So the fielding here by Stockton, not the best to start off with. Certainly reverse to what Wallsend started out with. Yeah. They were on their toes. They were walking in. They had a bit of a spring in their step. So they really need to defend this total, Stockton.
They do, and it comes down to good fielding, and that's where it can either win you or lose your games. And that last ball was interesting because we had the batsman obviously go for one run, and in T20 cricket you've got to be on your guard when it comes to misfields. And Clark there was down the other end. He had absolutely no idea where that ball went, and I think that's the important thing. You've got to make sure you keep your eye on the ball, and when there's that extra run to be had, they all make a difference at the end of the day. So they actually got the second run there, but it could have been some trouble there.
Just looking down at the dugout down there, and they all look pretty relaxed, the boys in the pavilion. So it's definitely an achievable target here. Of course, no one in this Twilight T20 competition thus far this year has chased down a total, especially a total of 141. It's very formidable.
Yeah, well, I get the impression that could change. This could be the game.
Oh, just a bit of a hesitation there from Clark, who was going towards the non-striker's end, but he got home safely.
He got some bat on that too. There was no indication from the umpires there that was leg by, so he must have got something on that, and that was good running from Price there too. He was really scampering down the wicket.
Yeah, he sure was. And Price now, what can he do? The fielding restrictions are still in play. The power play is on.
Yeah, I think he's looking to hit over the field. That's what he'll be trying to do.
He definitely wanted some of that strike, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
well,
I think
he knows that there's plenty of runs to be had if you can hit over the heads of the fieldsmen here, and as you can see, you look around the boundary and there's only the two fielders out at this stage, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. They'll be targeting about 60. Now that's going to be called a wide, is it? Yes, it is. Just trying a little bit too hard, trying to get it into the pads there of Price and cramp him up a little bit, and just going down leg side.
Well, there's plenty of room on mid-wicket, plenty of room to hit over mid-on, mid-off, and if he's good enough, certainly over cover's head as well. So there's lots of runs, and he can guide it down to third man too. So there's plenty of options here.
Crackers is down in third man, so... Oh, and he's going to get the ball again. Here he comes around. Crackers! He stopped it. No, he hasn't. Unfortunate there. He almost got it.
It's funny, Gareth, when I was down umpiring on Thursday, I could actually hear you up here, and I reckon Crackers has just probably heard his name, on Bar TV, I'd say.
He was shaking his head. His name's out there for the world. Of course, we are streaming across Newcastle and all across the world. You can pick us up anywhere. Of course, we can see where they're viewing us. They're viewing us in Sweden. And that's up in the air, and Price hasn't hit that very well. The fielders will make no mess of that, so that is a vital wicket, Peter.
It is a vital wicket, and that's the wicket they needed to keep in this game, because I think the longer he is out there, the more dangerous he certainly would have got, and that was just he just completely mishit that one. Maybe it just held up on the wicket just a bit there too.
Yeah, it did as we go. Price coming from the field.
I know one person who's relieved to see the end of him, and that's Crackers down
here.
Yeah,
he suddenly just got to the huddle there.
At third man,
he
I think.
Had to run all that way. Now he's running back. Let's have a look at him. As we look at the replay here, yeah, he completely mistimed it here. He looked to whip that over that mid-wicket region, and there was a bit of a teary eye there from our cameraman as the footage blurred up. We all wanted to see Price kick on, especially our cameraman.
Pablo, our cameraman's just noticed that Crackers may have a sore right wrist.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of the bone the bone down there, but I can't remember.
There is a name for it, but I can't think of it.
Isn't it the wrist bone?
Science in year 10.
The wrist bone's connected to the hand bone.
Ulnar and radius.
Mate, it's not year 10. It's kindergarten. Yeah. The wrist bone's connected to the hand bone. You know that one.
Yeah, it's ulnar and radius, I think. Someone will probably correct me, but
you better get out of our radius at the moment, Ben, because that is pretty poor sports science at any level, mate. As we're going in for another bowl. Whipped away fine. So nicely done there.
I think we've got the captain in now for Wallsend.
Montgomery's come in, as we called him in.
It is ulnar and radius. I've just looked it up, done some research.
Well, it doesn't take away from the fact that you do learn that your wrist bone's connected to your hand bone at preschool these days, mate.
Whilst you're there, Ben, can you check out the French cut as well for us?
Yeah, that's right.
I'll look that up.
I've given you one assignment all match, Ben, and you've failed to deliver. So this internship, this scorecard that I'm doing for you right now, is You might have got into uni, but you might not pass me at Bar TV, buddy.
Now, I think Jake Montgomery's been in fairly good form this year for Wallsend, so he'll be looking to try and step up the pace here a little bit too, and try and see if he can bat a few overs here.
And that's going to be called a wide, and that's going to be 5 runs.
Yeah, that's not good bowling. When you're only defending 140, that's... Yeah, you don't want to be bowling like that. You want to be trying to just keep it on that off stump. And it makes it hard for the wicketkeeper in these circumstances when the ball's down leg side like that. So he wouldn't be very happy with that ball. So what he needs to do here is just get back on off stump, make the batsman play.
Oh, he's got a bit of bat on that, has he? A bit of an inside edge. The wicketkeeper couldn't get hold of it.
And that was a good follow-up ball from the previous one. I think that one might have just swung it in a little bit. It's very hard to say. What's been the comments on the pink ball too, Gareth? Has it been a bit mixed, has it? Or
Yeah, no, I think everyone's happy to be playing with the pink ball. I don't think anyone really understands the pink ball yet. I think at this level, maybe it doesn't make too much of a difference, but it does seem when that twilight, about now, is when the ball starts nipping around a little bit and it does get a bit of movement.
Yeah, it was funny because when I was out there on Thursday, there was a little bit of mixed reaction to the pink ball.
It was hard on Thursday as well because of the weather too, so you can't really get a full gauge because it was so hot leading into it, so the humidity, it was terrible out there. I guess the ball was very slippery in the hand too.
Yeah, and it was hooping around a bit, was swinging around a bit too. So it's interesting getting different views on what players think of it.
So this is Eaton with the ball. Score 1 for 28 after 3 overs.
But I think generally the feedback that I've been getting on the ball, that a lot of the players are quite happy with it. So it's a good thing.
Well, I'm glad they're happy because they're worth quite a bit to make, and that's a nice stroke, isn't it? That's guided all the way to the boundary for 4. Third man couldn't get around to that at all.
Yeah, he's a bit short outside off stump there, and he took full advantage of that one, and that was a good shot. And, that certainly deserved 4. He just needs to pitch it up a bit here if he can.
So coming in again, Eaton.
Yeah, so
that's a slower ball there.
Was a slower ball, but he pitched it up too. So, and it's all about the variations too in this form of the game. If you got a good arsenal of the slower ball, the quicker ball,
the cutter.
Yeah, just a bit of variation. I think you do well in this form of the game too. So.
And it's going to be close. Oh, the backhand flick. Crackers.
Well, that would have been very
Crackers
close.
Has picked that up from 3rd grade Stockton, hasn't he? The backhand flick.
Yeah, well, that could have been Crackers' moment there. He could have it could have been called redemption there for the one he dropped down at 3rd man. But
look at the little whippet. I wouldn't say Crackers is crumbling yet, but he's
showing plenty of enthusiasm, and his head hasn't dropped after obviously having that drop catch. So he's going okay.
So here comes Eaton again. Oh, that's down the ground. It's up in the air. Coming around. It's going to be close. Oh, very hard catch to take. I'll count that as a drop, though, Pete.
So you're going to count that as a drop?
Of course I will.
Wow. That was a running back sort of catch, which are really hard.
So hard to take.
They are. And the thing about those catches is you're running and the ball's coming over your head and you've got to try and judge to catch it. It's not easy to catch those ones.
The only one that can do that with his eyes closed is Jared Hayne.
I'll tell you what, a few years ago I saw the great Viv Richards in one of those matches where they raise money for organisations, and one of the batsmen hit it up in the air. He was actually fielding it mid-off, and he's run back and he's caught the ball over his head, and I've never seen anything like it in my life. And Viv Richards hadn't played cricket for about 15 years, so it was incredible. What a freak.
You can't buy talent. I think that's the key to that message.
I just couldn't believe it, and the fact that he even got there to catch it was just incredible. It was one of the most incredible things I've seen.
So 4 overs completed now.
So what are they running at? About 7, 8 and over?
Yeah, 7, 8 and over. Have you got a comparison down there, Ben?
After 4 overs, Stockton were 2 for 17 and 1 for 35 Wallsend, so they're doubling their score. And on the French cut,
Oh, we've got it.
no, we haven't. I've only got the origin of French fries, unfortunately, at the moment.
There
The
we
origin
go.
of French fries.
Well, that's half a job done. Give it to us, mate. Where is... Don't just leave us hanging. You know the origin of French fries. No one else in the world knows where French fries come from. Ben Homer, give it to us.
I've got to read it. I've got to click on the I've got to click on the link and have a read, Gareth. I'll be back to you after this over.
So young and so innocent as the ball coming through. You just can't buy good help these days, Pete.
No, you can't. No.
That's why we're getting it for free.
That's it.
So, yeah, change of bowler, sorry. Everyone out there listening there at Bar TV. It's Foster coming in. Had that attempt of catch before. Oh, that's hit finally. I don't think it's going to go all the way. Yeah, no, it's not. So they'll get 2 out of it.
Yeah, on the leg side again with your fielder up. Not smart bowling. It's just, I think in this game you just got to use your common sense and try and get it outside off stump.
I think Clark, getting back to Clark, he's the player. He can push singles round and really good between the wickets, and he's certainly someone that's going to, as I say,
I think
that
you just put the mocker on him.
Hit that very high. Oh, and that is probably, and I don't mean to discourage anyone, the worst attempt at a skied shot I've seen in the Twilight T20 series.
I tell you what, I'd like to, if the boys can arrange to get a replay of that. He never ever looked like catching that, did he?
It looked like he was catching a footy.
It didn't even look like a footy, Ben. If that's the way you catch footies, give it up, buddy, because it looked like he was...
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing. He looked like Chicken Little from the movie Chicken Little. And that's going to be taken nicely. So I was just wrapping Clark up to get singles. Oh, he's hit the stumps. Direct hit. The umpire had his back turned.
That was a great piece of fielding, wasn't it? Yeah.
And he's out. He's well out. He's walked. The umpire actually had his back turned there. He was already through on the run.
Well, that kind of makes up for the catch before, doesn't it?
No. I was just going through. He's the man that had to get the singles, get the doubles out there, and now he's not getting anything apart from a nice seat in the dugout.
But he was called through there, so it was just one of those things where he had to take the risk there. It was just a good throw. And I mean, that throw could have went anywhere, really, but to take out the middle stump was outstanding. Here's the replay here. He was out by miles.
Yeah, definitely. And the umpire's out of shot, but the umpire definitely had his back turned there. But for honesty, he walked.
Yes. Well, I think it was all for there to see. It was a bit like the catch before. With, I mean, if I don't want to make it a point of it, but he just never looked like he was going to catch that ball. And if that was me out there, I think I would have dug a hole by now and buried myself.
So this is Wicks coming in, or is it Sicilian? Because they're both in number 44 out there. I'm pretty sure it's Wicks's.
Yeah, there's 2 44s, but Wicks has the name
Wicks on the back of his shirt, so that's Wicks.
So we'll see when he's on.
Yeah, no, I saw Wicks on the back of his shirt. Thanks, Ben, for that. You're the one on the boundary, so let's get the info. How are things down there, Ben? Anyway, the Wallsend side, they looked pretty strong. They're 2 for 40 after 4.
Oh well, everyone's down on that Wallsend bench. They got every man and his dog. All the fans and everyone. So they are pretty relaxed down there. There's a little kid down there as well. So it's a very relaxed environment on the walls, on the sidelines with Wallsend.
They're confident out at Wallsend, aren't they?
Yes, they are very confident at the moment.
Well, it would have been hot out there today. It's probably 5 degrees cooler in here for them.
It's cooled down a little bit, actually. The wind sort of cooled down. So
a bit of a southerly change?
Yeah, much easier out there at the moment.
Yeah, conditions here do change fairly quickly, and when you're batting second and fielding second here, you always probably get the best conditions anyway. But for Stockton right now, what is it? Wallsend 2 for 40, 5. That's 8 and over, and we've got Nick Foster coming on. So these are the overs that they need to try and restrict the Wallsend batting if they can, and restrict the runs.
Well, we saw how successful spin was in the first innings there. So this could be a good ploy here by Stockton. As Foster comes in for his first. Cutting nicely, so there's still 1 This is the last over of the power play, and that'll go for 4. And that ran away very quickly to the short boundary.
Yeah, it did. It certainly got away very quickly after he struck that one, and that was a bit of a loosener from Nick Foster. And if you as a spinner, if you're pitching them short, they're just going to cut you away, and that's exactly what happened there. So he just needs to get his line right.
Well, it definitely looks like he's dropped a couple of kilos this year as well, Foster.
Yeah, well, I remember when I first met Nick many years ago. He certainly has trimmed up a bit, which is good for him.
Yeah, this is better stuff here by Foster. He's certainly getting it pitched up nicely.
He's doing the same thing. He's trying to get through the over very quickly here.
Oh, they've gone for that one. There's space out there. Didn't hit it, I guess, with everything on the bat, but they're going for 2. They're going to have to get back, and almost a run out there.
Yeah, I think that was a good call to say no, stay there, because I think that could have been a bit nasty. That could have been a run out.
But we all know Eaton has a very good arm on him, as most fast bowlers do.
Well, that's the thing when you're playing your opposition, you've got to identify who the good fielders are. So.
Well, that one's shorter, and he's certainly dispatched that. There's a fielder out there. So setting the field well there, the Stockton captain.
Yeah, he's got some protection out there, so if he does, as he did there, drop a bit short, at least he's got a bit of protection out there. So that was a pretty good over for your first over. But it'll be interesting to see how he goes in the next couple of overs.
I've got the history of French fries for you.
Oh,
Gareth.
yeah, I forgot about that, Ben. Yeah, give it to us.
They were introduced to Europe not through the French or the Belgians, but through the Spanish in 1537.
So should we rename the shot the French cut, the Spanish cut?
Oh, I think that's right. The Jimenez de Quesada and his Spanish forces encountered a village in Colombia where all the natives had fled, and they found in the natives' foodstuffs potatoes, which the Spanish initially called truffles.
Yeah, right. There you go. Patatas fritas, I think they call them in Spanish. Por favor.
Well,
Como está, Ben?
More to come on that later. We'll continue the.
All I can say
story.
is when I woke up this morning and I knew that I was coming to commentate at Bar TV, I didn't know that I was going to get a lesson in French fries today. So I've learned something new today as well.
There you go. All the useless information and all the grassroots sports you can get at Bar TV Sports. If you do want to get into the game and you do know where the term French cut comes from, we're putting it out there at Bar TV Sports, hashtag Bar TV Sports as well, so we can get a bit of a lead in on that, because from now on I'm going to call it the Spanish cut.
Yeah, well, I mean that's obviously where that originated from with the French fries. So how's the tweets going, Gareth? You've had many in the last little while.
To be fair, I haven't checked my Twitter account yet. And neither has our producer Jack. He's under the pump today. He's a man down with the technical director Josh out with the family. So, well-deserved break. I'll let him have the day off, Peter. Of course, Mark in the Bar TV bunker as well in the studio.
So 2 for 49. So now less than 100 to win for Wallsend. So this could be the first game where the side batting second actually chases down the runs.
And that's another shot away.
Just a question. This is an interesting question. Do you think when Stockton won the toss today, did you think they might have thought to themselves, well, each of the teams that have batted first here have won the games, maybe we should just bat? Or would that have had any bearing on the decision, do you think?
I think it did, and that's up in the air, and it's going to be safe. Yeah, definitely. I think there is obvious advantage of batting first. It's always harder to chase in the short form, and it'd be interesting to see the statistics in something like the Big Bash League as well, just to see what the win percentage is for the team batting first, because I'd expect to be pretty high.
Yeah. And it's like anything, with the T20. I suppose, as you go through your innings, you're trying to build as big a score as you can. And I've always thought that any team can win, regardless if you bat or bowl first anyway. So.
So Foster coming for his second over.
Yeah, he needs just to try and tighten the screws here a bit on Wallsend. Just put a bit of pressure, a few dot balls, and just see how they react here. They're going along quite nicely. So they're scoring it over nearly 7 and over. So their run rate's pretty good at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. They'll be looking for. I'm picturing about 70 after 10 here.
Yeah.
And if we go down to Ben Homer, Ben's got some more trivia for us, I think.
Well, Pablo's just advised me that the French cut is through the legs, so hitting the ball through the legs. The Spanish cut is hitting the ball around the legs, so sort of outside the legs.
There you go. And that's a difficult shot to play, the Spanish cut.
It is, but I guess we probably have played it at some stage in our career, I'd say, Gareth, and not even known that we've played it.
Yeah, that's right. So here's Foster again. Just hit down the ground.
Yeah,
so the singles are here. Now the power play is over.
Yeah, I was just about to say, with obviously being into the 8th over here, they've got fielders out. That was a good ball. He had second thoughts about that. He was going to maybe hit that a bit harder, but changed his mind at the last moment.
I think it just came through a little bit quicker, didn't it? He's got that one away, though. Oh, nicely fielded there. I think it was Crackers.
Yeah, Crackers.
Well done.
He's onto that one.
So here comes Foster again. And that'll go down the ground. Kelly, the man out deep to pick that one up.
I think Crackers has got his 10 minutes of fame today. What do you think?
3 minutes 45, I think, so
3:45?
far. We'll get him to 10, though. Oh, that's full, and that's hit down the ground, not getting everything on it he would have liked. I thought maybe if he tried to hit that a bit more square.
So that's 8 overs gone, 2 for 57.
Because I guess there's definitely room out there for him around that deep cover area there if he still wants to hit over the top.
Yeah, there is. There's gaps there, but it's just a matter of making sure that you pick the right ball to hit. And that's not easy to do.
So 2 for 57 the score.
I've got a score comparison for you, Gareth. So after 8 overs, Stockton were in all sorts of trouble. They were 3 for 39. Wallsend are 2 for 57.
There we go. So looking to get up around 70. They could even get towards 75, I think. At 75, every run counts at that 10 over mark.
But
and that'll be halfway there.
Yeah, but as we know, Stockton towards the end of their innings accelerated too when they needed to accelerate. And I was thinking 130 for them, but 141. I mean, that's a bonus for them.
I guess that's the question, isn't it? Has the Wallsend got the batting depth that we saw from Stockton? Have we, have they got someone like a Jenkinson that can
I think
get out there and?
Yeah, I think they have. I think their key is
Montgomery, definitely. Yeah. He's full of experience, and is that going to be buys?
That's
going to be a wide. I thought he might have got something on that.
Yeah, no, he missed that one, and again, that was a poor ball, down leg side. As a captain, I can imagine that the captain would not be very happy with that bowling at all. I mean, you can't put fielders everywhere, but at the end of the day, when you've got no protection down that side of the ground, you can't bowl there. That's where you need to bowl right there.
I was going to say that's a better line there, and Wicks, he just hits it straight back to the fielder.
I've got a stat here. That's the second time McVeigh has bowled what I like to call a gutter ball, 5 wides. That's twice now.
Twice today. There we go. The gutter ball. Taking the terminology. Of course, Ben Homer, a fine 10-pin bowler himself.
Bowled a few gutter balls in 4th grade.
I mean, at the 10-pin bowling, though, Ben, I guess you're still on bumper bowling, mate.
Get the bars up. Always get the bars up. It's more fun.
Yeah, very good.
I've got no issues with the bars being up at all.
I'm a traditionalist. So here's Wicks again on strike. They're tracking along nicely here. He's gone down the ground. Oh, nicely fielded there. He was in full stretch to stop the boundary. It was well hit, though.
Yeah, he hit that one pretty hard, didn't he? But still just got the 1 run for it.
So McVeigh The man with the ball.
Yeah, Montgomery is Wallsend's key here for mine. I just think that if he sticks around and he can bat through the whole innings here, they will get these runs. But Stockton need to get him out, and they need to get him out as soon as they can, because if he just continues to go on, he'll make this run chase fairly easy.
So there's runs over mid-on. Oh, he's had a slash at that. That was an ugly-looking shot, but a good delivery there by McVie.
Yeah, he's probably just glancing down at the umpire there thinking, oh, that one could have been a bit wide. That does happen. It's funny when you're out there umpiring, Gareth, and you bowl balls like that. The first thing you notice is you look down the wicket and here's the batsman looking at you going...
Just glaring, give me a bit.
What's going on there?
Give me something.
Surely that was a wide.
So that's what can McVie do now? Oh, that's a good ball. He got a bit of bat on it.
Yeah, he cramped him up for room there, and that's exactly right. I mean, if you look at that over so far, I mean that's his line. That's where he needs to continue to keep pressing away. Those ones down the leg side, there's just nothing in it for him there at all.
So he's got a couple more deliveries here. It's a fairly tidy over by McVie. 2 for 65. Can he restrict them to under 70?
Okay, that's the over.
Yes, he can. So good over there. 2 for 65. 10 overs completed. So I can officially say tracking at about 6.5 and over.
6.5 and over, yeah. That's where they need to be as far as the run rate is concerned, because they can accelerate obviously as the overs go deeper into that 10 to 15. But
well, if they can keep this partnership going to around over 15, they are a definite shot here. They'll probably want to be around that 110 mark by 15 overs.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. If they're there about that, then about 110 after 15, you'd back them to chase this total down. So it all depends on wickets and fall of wickets. That can really have an effect on your momentum as well. So if they can just keep continuing on the way they are, they should give this total a good shake.
So here comes Lucas. Bumped it in a little bit short. Is that a no ball called? Foot over. So wait for it, Pete. It's going to be the lasso comes out. Calling a no ball. Is that for too many men outside
yes, he has. I've
circle.
Actually just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
he had
six
6 out. 6 out. So that's a captain error.
So here's
there.
the lasso. That's a funny looking lasso. That's a wrist lasso. We don't see that too often. The umpires normally get their arms, their elbows into it. Oh, he's hit that down the ground. The free shot. So they'll just pick up the one off that.
So what's the lasso? Is it like that?
Yeah, you've got to do it properly, Pete. Well, next time you're out there umpiring, I want to see it just come from the shoulder.
Absolutely. So what I'll do when I got the lasso, I'll know where you guys are. I'll turn around.
Yeah, turn around and look at the camera.
Yeah, and I'll give you the old lasso.
Maybe a hip shake too while you're there.
All right.
Something a bit YMCA-ish.
I'll hold that. I'll hold that to you when it happens again.
No, don't need to hold it to me. I'll be doing it. Don't worry about that. Don't have to ask me twice.
It's actually pretty hard to captain a T20 game. It's not easy, and
yeah, he's bowling well though. This is a good line. All the field is set, I guess.
Yeah, the thing about this game is there's always something happening. You've always got field changes. The captain's always got to be on his on the front foot to try and make sure he's got the right amount of fielders out. And the other thing too is the fielders have got to understand. You got to listen to the captain. Come in or go out or whatever. So it's quite interesting.
Oh, he's had a shot at that. That's a nicely struck cut shot. Go all the way to the boundary for 4. When's the last time we've seen a 4 down there, Ben? It's been a while. We'll go to Ben in a second.
He's our statsman today, and he's doing a great job.
He's doing an unreal job. He's had good news all day today. He's living the dream at the moment as we go for the next ball. Oh, he's had a big slash of that. He gets his bat back in the crease. Ben?
The last 4 we saw was that wide.
No, I'm not counting
I mean,
wides
so-
with bat on ball.
Otherwise, just check Foster's last over, so it would have been about 3 overs ago.
Yeah, very good. So that's a well-needed 4 to get this run rate going.
They've really been turning over the singles nicely. That's what they've been doing off a lot of the bowlers, and it's just 6 and over will get them home.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of space as well. Or the fielders are set deep in front of the batter, so if they just play straight, there's always at least one there, Pete.
Oh, there is. It's just a matter of, having good communication between the batsmen, just like there. Obviously, a fumble there, and there's one, but you've still got to make sure that you're both, looking at each other, and otherwise you could, there's run-outs in this game, and there's a lot of run-outs in this game if you don't communicate with each other.
Yeah, so that'll be over. Foster will take the ball again. So what's Wicks got? I think Wicks, he's probably the man that needs to go, I think, Pete. Just for a couple of overs.
Yeah, I mean, if at this stage of the game, if you want someone to maybe just have a bit of a tonk around, and maybe Montgomery at the other end can just sort of hit the singles and rotate the strike around. So they'd be talking to each other out there and coming up with some sort of a plan what they want to do.
So fielders just getting set, sight screen getting moved. They've got the 5 men out. So onside is where the singles are, and that's a good ball first up by Foster. They get a single in any case.
Is there any chance of getting a close on shot on number 44 at all? Just like to.
As we go now, and again,
I'm thinking it's
Blocked
not.
away.
I don't think it is.
You don't think it is?
No.
Oh, you think it's their import?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
well, I'm told he was he's one of the best up and coming batsmen in Australia.
Yeah,
he looks like he's striking the ball really well, and as Wicks is more of a bowler as well. Oh, that's a nice shot there over the fence. Montgomery, the captain, standing and delivering. As the pink balls are lost in that sea of Camrys there.
Yeah, it's out of the screws, and yeah, it's very hard to tell with their helmets on with some players, but I'm pretty sure that's not him. 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
The back of the shirt, yeah, it does say Wicks. So there was 244s when they were
There is
fielding,
244s.
So I don't know what's happened.
They might have swapped shirts.
Trying to trick us.
Look, at the end of the day, Matthew Wicks will take it the way that he's playing at the moment. So looks like we've lost that ball, have we?
Might have gone into the drain actually. It was a.
They're looking over
big
the fence
shot.
there, and
Tim Crawford.
I thought it went under a car actually. Check the Camry.
Yeah, Tim Crawford. He's hit the biggest 6 that I've seen when I've been down here, and he put one over the old.
You weren't here yesterday.
But Josh Chappell, I'm thinking would have hit. Where was his biggest?
His went straight down the ground over the greenkeeper's shed yesterday.
How
And that was
many
the
metres
biggest
do you
I've
think
seen. That has got to be. I reckon that's at least 85 to 90 metres.
Yeah, it's a big hit, isn't it? A huge hit. So obviously we're having some. We've got the ball back, have we?
The ball's back. So the pink ball just getting some shade. He's been out in the sun all afternoon.
Yes.
Montgomery hitting that one away. So what's he got in him next? 2 for 81 the score.
Yeah, it was well timed. It was a good shot under the circumstances, and those sort of shots just relieve the pressure on the batting team as far as their run rate is concerned. So he'll be looking hopefully to just knock them around now.
Well, we just knocked that one around and picked up a couple. If they go for 2, yes they do.
I think as a batsman in T20 cricket too, I think this is where some players tend to go wrong when they're batting is you hit a shot like that for 6, and really that's 6 in the over already.
They try to go again.
So all you really have to do is try and knock it around for the remaining deliveries that you have. And I think in a way some players do fall into the trap where they hit a 6 and they think they've got to hit another one next ball, and then they get themselves out, which makes the situation a lot worse. So I think what he's done there is knock one for 2, and he'd be looking to try and knock another one for 1 or 2 if he can.
Oh, that's beaten the outside edge. That's a good ball there by Foster.
That was a decent ball, so very hard to try and get that one away.
So we'll go with Siciliana, the import out there. Cecilna.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure that's not Matt Wicks.
And we'll get some stats on Cecilna as well if we can get you to find out for that on the boundary for us, Ben, because he's very highly rated if you can get any info on him at all, because he's one of the imports. He's playing out of Sydney and he's scoring plundering runs apparently in the competition down there.
I'll just have to get the spelling because it's a bit... The writing isn't the greatest that I've got here, so I'll try my best.
It's doctor's writing, Ben. And that's up in the air. This could be out. And yes, it is. It's out in the deep. Just going for it there. So he'll be out. And that'll end that mystery.
Yes. And he's picked the fielder out pretty well there, hasn't he? Straight down his throat. The fielder didn't have to move a lot there. So that was, I guess, a disappointing end to a pretty good innings. And... I just feel as though that sort of shot at this stage of the game may have not been needed. Maybe he's just needed to hang around a bit more with Montgomery.
Well, here comes Forsyth now. The wicket keeper had a fairly good innings with the gloves on.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he hit that, he knew that it's his head went down and he knew that he hit it in the wrong spot there. Maybe he was trying to obviously hit it a bit wider.
Oh, he's hit that down the ground and still looking to rotate the strike.
And that's my point just right there. All he had to do was do that and just rotate the strike instead of trying to go for the big shot. So, and that's what happens. You lose wickets, and now you lose a little bit of momentum because you've got a new player in who's got to get himself set, and with only remaining 8 or 9 overs left, it's not an easy thing.
Well, he's pushed him back in the crease there. Good ball by Foster. So picking up a wicket this over. He's bowling pretty quick. Sent back there by Montgomery. I thought the single may have been on there.
Yeah, I think that what Nick Foster's doing here is he's just trying to upset the rhythm of the batsman. He's just come in, so just trying to test him out.
He's tossed that one up and again coming back into the crease. Just forcing him back. This is good bowling here by Foster.
So you're in a position that we have at the moment with Forsyth. I mean, he isn't in a position to go and try and hit the big runs here. He can't afford to lose his wicket.
So that'll be over as very quick there.
Wicket, was it a wicket maiden? One off it.
One off it, yeah, they did. They did get one run. Montgomery got the run because they crossed. So here comes... Is it Lucas? No, it is Foster again resuming. So what can Montgomery do here? That was a tight over the last over, so they'll need to get a few runs off this.
Yeah, he's got to keep it off leg stump. Obviously he's got fine leg up again in the circle, so off stump's the way to go.
And he's hit that fine. Third man's there.
Yeah, good bowling.
Just to check, Jake Cecilman, who does he play for?
I have no idea, Ben. Sorry. And if you can find that...
Yes, found him. Randwick Petersham.
There
I've got
we go.
the stats. I'll get back to you after this ball.
Randwick Peterson. Of course, he's probably... has been brought here by Nathan Price, I'd imagine. The Randy Peets, I believe they love to be called.
Well, that'd be the connection there. And it's good to see, players from Sydney coming up and having a go in our T20 midweek competition. it's good for the game. It's good for other people to have a look at these players they don't normally see. So, and he played quite well.
And that'll be runs again. Montgomery fairly well set now, just rotating the strike quite easily.
Yeah, well, he just has to get them home now. Stay there. Make sure that his partner, doesn't lose his head and he doesn't lose too many wickets, because then if they lose too many wickets too quickly, it then starts to put pressure back on him again.
Steps down the ground. Oh, he's got a bit of an edge on that. The third man's coming around. Is he going to be able to stop him? Oh, nice work there. That was Kelly coming around.
It says here Jake Siciliana.
There you go. That's him. Siciliana.
106 he made against Sydney Uni earlier in the year. He's made a 67. His last match he made 23 against Mossman on the weekend's game.
So definitely player of the future there as well. It's a couple of nice scores against some pretty good opposition down in Sydney.
Yeah, that's right. And there's some good talent in Sydney at the moment too. A lot of younger players coming through the grades there. So, and obviously he's one of them.
Well, the lights are on here. He's whipped that over the top. Crackers is there to cut it off. Surprised he didn't test his arm. So Nick Foster will continue his bowling by the looks of it. And look how keen he is. He's running to the bowler's end. He's already got his hat half off. And
yeah, well, as you know, Gareth, in this form of the cricket, you've got 1 hour and 15 minutes to bowl your overs. Otherwise, you get penalised. So
what is the penalty here, Pete?
I think the penalty is 5 or 6 runs. So yeah,
can't afford that.
Well, you can't afford it. You got to make sure you get through your overs. And the good thing about it, Nick Foster's getting through his overs fairly quickly, so he's making up a bit of time.
Oh, he's floated that one up and he's got behind that one, and that is over the fence. Nice shot by Forsyth, and that's almost hit the car. It's certainly our producer.
It's not your car down there, Gareth, is it, by any chance?
I ride the push. I've got a good story about my car. I actually crashed.
You crashed it?
My mother-in-law's car out the front of my house this afternoon.
You almost cleaned up my car, actually, Gareth. It was very, very close. I didn't realise.
So hold on. How did that happen?
No, it's not a Holden. It was actually a Mazda 2, and I live on a corner, and the lady's I've pulled out. The lady's tried to beat the car coming straight around the corner, and she's hit my front end as I pulled out. So I don't know who's at fault there. I'm guessing me because I pulled out, but she tried to get past the car coming through.
Yeah, I think you might be in some strife there somehow.
No, the insurance is all good. It's all been
fine.
done. 650 excess done and dusted.
Easy.
Glad Bar TV pays me well.
That's why you have insurance.
Special thanks, I guess, to GIO, for doing such a good job.
Just a quick plug there.
She was actually lovely on the phone to me.
I'm actually with Amy because I just like the girl on the ad.
Who, Amy?
Yeah. Happy you're with Amy, isn't it?
Lucky.
Or
was it Lucky?
That was in the 90s.
I
don't think they do those. I haven't done those ads for 10 years. But I do remember the girl in question.
Yes.
She was also...
This could be out.
Oh, this is out. Nicely taken there.
That's Forsyth, I think, who's out.
Yeah, he just hit that magnificent shot over the top, and that's a good pick up there, good wicket.
Yeah, he tried to obviously hit over the infield there, and he's mishit that one and straight to the fieldsman. So, Wallsend 4 for 98 here. They won't want to lose another couple of wickets because this could come down to a very interesting last few overs. Here's the replay.
Yeah, he just holed out, hasn't he? If he had got hold of it, it would have gone. But
yeah, he just didn't.
He just mistimed it, and it was a slower delivery than what he probably would have expected. Didn't come off the pitch quite well. Held up a little bit.
You should really get home from here, shouldn't you? 43 required off
7 overs.
Off 36 balls, yeah.
Yeah, it's 36 balls.
Well, you should.
A little bit more than 36 balls. So what is it? There is 1 ball left, so 37. So 43 off 37. In a T20, you probably should get the job done.
It's up to Stockton now to try and put some pressure on the new batsman. And if they can jag another wicket here, and get 5 for 98. It's game on.
Yeah, so it's Young coming to the crease, and the ball thrown back in anger by Foster.
That's good over.
Yeah, definitely. He's picked up a couple of wickets now.
Good over.
He's certainly come on and made a difference here, Nick Foster. So at the same point in time, they're about 5 for 78.
Yeah.
So definitely with the run rate advantage at the moment, Wallsend. But in saying that, they have to keep this run rate up, otherwise they're going to. And we can see the dint there on the side of the car. I think was there a bit of pink to that? A bit of a pink shade.
Yeah,
a bit more, bit of panel beating here at number 1 Sports Ground.
He was as he was driving, he was looking over, going, "You've hit my car."
Yeah, I'm out of here.
I'm gone.
Does the council pick up the bill on that, or is it just bad luck?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Call your council.
I'm pretty sure it's just common. Well, it's not common sense, but they say if you're stupid enough to park your car near a cricket ground, they don't give you the insurance on it.
I'm pretty sure you would be able to write to the council.
Pay that out,
I'm pretty sure the council's insurance policy would cover that.
Yeah, I think
as public, maybe something around public. I don't know. I'm no insurance guru, but I'm almost going to say I'm 90% sure that the council would pick up that bill for that man.
Yeah.
Well, we were playing junior cricket at Harry
Juniors don't count. I'm talking about men.
Back at Lambton Park, a ball got hit, and this car's driving. It actually got itself wedged underneath the bottom of the car.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Oh, that was almost a screamer there. Full flight. Unlucky there. And do you know who it was? Do you know who that was?
That was Crackers.
It certainly was. Crackers. Diving to his right. Degree of difficult, 9.7.
Yeah, just getting back to that issue you were talking about the cars. I know only a few weeks ago that there was an incident in the CNS cricket where somebody's car did get hit, and I'm pretty sure the associations have like insurance. So it might even go through the actual association's insurance. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, if you do know, tweet us in at Bar TV Sports, hashtag Bar TV Sports. And this is a good over here as well.
Yeah, well, this is where they need to tighten it up and just start putting pressure on the Wallsend, because we already seen one loose shot in this over, which should have been a wicket, should have been caught. So
it is a drop. Crackers not having the best day in the field, and Eaton it is with the ball, and he's hit that, tried to hit that down the ground, hasn't got everything on it.
Now Montgomery's got an issue there. He sort of stumbled a bit as he got down to the other end there. Yeah, he seems okay now though.
Oh, the slower, fuller ball.
That's a good ball. Yep.
So Eaton, this is a good change here by the captain. Bring him on. He was pretty good early on. Oh, he's gone for that one. He's got plenty on it, and that's 6. Nicely hit off the bat. Nicely struck. So Young clearing the pickets, and that's a good-looking shot, Peter.
It is. That was a very good shot, and again, not the ball to bowl at this time of the game. Down leg side, he just flicked that, and that was good night. It was over the fence before we could even look at it. Really, it was not the ball, and again, that was the last ball of the over. So
it looks like maybe a calf problem there, maybe just cramping up there from Montgomery.
Yeah, it could be. He might have just had a little injury coming into the game. Not real sure, but. Okay, so 15 overs, 4 for 106. I'd say at this stage you'd be backing Wallsend to get the runs.
Yeah, definitely 4 for 106, as you mentioned. 15 overs. We pictured, that 100 to 110. They'd be sitting pretty.
Yeah, I think they've just got to get the momentum back, and a 6 like that, that just sort of helps their cause a little bit. And Stockton, well, they've just got to find ways to get wickets.
Yeah, 36 runs to get. So what can they do? What can they pull out here? This Stockton side. Oh, it's been edged, and he's taken the bails off.
Yes, that has certainly
He's
bowled
out.
him.
He's bowled him.
Yeah.
took the bails off. I thought he got an edge on the bat. It went through to the wicket keeper.
Yeah, well,
and that's out.
Yes, well, look at the replay there. He may have got something on that, but I don't think so. I think it's just crashed into the stumps there, and as you can see as he's walking off, he's disappointed because he understands that was a very important wicket not to get for Wallsend there. They wanted to make sure they didn't lose any more wickets. Here's the replay.
So we look here and boom,
he's missed
completely missed it, didn't he? And I thought it may have got the edge, but it flicked up off the stumps, and the keeper, he almost caught the ball as well.
No, he's completely missed that, and it's just hit the bails as well, the top of the stumps. So good wicket for Stockton.
Yeah, good wicket. So 5 for 106. This game is well in the balance now, Peter.
It is, yes. So we've got Matt McGovern, who's coming to the crease.
Yeah, it is McGovern. Had a good day with the ball. Bowling his spinners. That's a full ball and hit straight to the fielder. So he hits the ball very hard, doesn't he, McGovern?
It was a nice shot for nothing, wasn't it? So here we've got two of the younger guns out here for Wallsend, who are the rising stars of this club, and here's an opportunity for both of them to get their team home.
Yes, and where else would you rather be than the NDCA Twilight T20 competition, of course brought to you by the Commonwealth Bank and Kingsgrove Sports.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful weather this time of the night though? You look
so
over and the shadows have come across the ground. It's been a really warm day, but conditions right now are excellent.
Yeah, the wind, the breeze has completely died off now, and this is a wonderful part of the day. Of course, if you want to bring your family down, it's free entry for everyone, not just the kids. So come down and enjoy the afternoon tomorrow, Thursday. Friday's supposed to be a bit of a rubbish day, so Thursday afternoon you could treat the kids. Come down and watch some first-class cricket here.
So the game tomorrow, who's playing tomorrow, do you know?
The game tomorrow is Wests taking on Cardiff, I believe.
Oh, that should be
Waratah.
Oh, Waratah, yeah, of course it is. West taking on Waratah. Murray Christie yesterday frothing at the bit to be here. Of course, an ex-Waratah player.
Yes, he is.
And Waratah have a couple of imports that'll be named tomorrow as well, which look pretty good too. So, and that, as Ben alluded to before earlier on in the broadcast, it's such a good concept to bring in a couple of imports. It just brings all the teams that little bit closer together.
Well, it does, and as we know, in the last few years, probably Waratah have struggled a bit. I mean, it's like anything in cricket; it goes up and down. You know, teams go through their periods where they struggle, and other teams are successful for a number of years. And Waratah, well, if they've got a couple of good imported players coming in tomorrow, they might make the difference over Wests.
Yes, definitely. And Waratah, they were so strong; they won a fair few premierships, through the 90s, and of course, I hate to say it, I think Murray was captain of a couple of those sides.
Yeah, but it's I think with sport, as we all know, you have your good periods where things go your way, and then you have your periods where nothing can go right. So I just think they just got to keep on keeping on and developing their youngsters out there, and who knows, in 10 years they could be at the top.
Yeah, they played pretty well in this T20 tournament last year. They were surprising. They certainly weren't flogged by any means, I guess.
Yeah.
They weren't out of it. It was
I know for
tight
fact,
games.
Well, we're talking about Waratah. I know for a fact on Saturday they actually got on Saturday, and they beat Newcastle City. So that was a good victory for them.
Yeah, definitely with the young side, it's always hard early on to get the mental focus there. But if a couple of those young batters can dig in and sort of make a game of it, then that team will be one to look out for in years to come. Oh, he's knocked over the stumps there. That's a nice ball. Off stump is shattered out of the ground.
Yeah, that was a good line, and yeah, I think he might have played the wrong shot there, but it was just a good ball, and it does go to show that things can change very quickly in this game. And here we are, Wallsend 6 down for 108, and now most of their bowlers are coming into bat now. So this is this target of 141. It's starting to look like about 181.
It's slipping away, isn't it? You can see the shadows over the park now. The lights are on, of course, as That pink ball just rolls away. And now this is going to be Wicks coming in.
This is him, definitely. Yeah.
So Wicks with the big writing on his back, not the little writing. Gave away his reserve shirt.
He did, yes. But he's got a big job to do. He's walked in. They would have been fairly confident Wallsend coming out, chasing down 141, and they were looking like they were cruising at one stage there. But when you start losing wickets, you start losing momentum, and then it starts to really put pressure on your middle to lower order. And now we're well and truly into that lower order of Wallsend.
Yes, can they bat down the order? Can they keep it going?
Well, now McGovern comes he becomes the key for Wallsend. He needs to hang around now if he can.
Oh, it's a full ball. It's hit nicely, but just getting a bit of an edge on it.
Now, one thing I have noticed is Stockton, they're starting to become a bit more animated in the field.
Yeah, definitely.
You can just start to hear them now. They were a bit quiet there for a while, but now you can hear them. There's a lot more voices, and that goes to show that they know that they're right in this game.
Yeah, for a while they've been pretty quiet. I think most of the game, their fielding early on was terrible. Certainly the last couple of overs, they definitely picked that up, and they're looking sprightly around the boundary. He's gone for that. That's a good shot there by McGovern. It may not get to the boundary, will it? Oh, he's stopped that. I thought he might have hit the line, though. That was Kelly.
Yep, that was good fielding, though, regardless if there's a bit of a question mark over there. That was a great effort. He had a long way to go there.
Yeah, he travelled a lot of distance, didn't he? And
he did.
He's very quick. We saw him very quick between the wickets out there.
That would have taken us about 10 minutes, Gareth, to get across from there. You and I.
I wouldn't have even bothered. I would have sent Ben Homer. Oh, good bowling there. This is a good spell of bowling. Warren.
So what I think Wallsend need to do here is they just need to try and look for the single still. Don't play any stupid shots, because if they lose another wicket, well then that really does put a lot of pressure on the next man coming in. So as you can see around the field at the moment, there is plenty of chances to score runs here.
Oh, that's hit down the ground. The man's up and he gets across nicely.
He does. Yeah, that was
well
good
done.
fielding.
That was Foster. So not a bad over there by Warren. Be interested to see what his figures are when Ben Homer can get them for us.
Okay, so 17 overs gone. Wallsend 6 for 113. They need 142, we believe, for victory here.
Yeah, 142 for victory. They're chasing that. 17 overs completed.
So they need 29.
I could almost hear your brain ticking then,
Yeah,
Pete.
29. I'm going through. It's going through my mind. 29 off 3 overs.
29
So,
off 3 overs.
yep.
What's that? 18 deliveries. The score's slipping away here, Pete.
Yeah. Now we've got a bit of break in play here for some reason. Now the lights have come on too, Gareth.
Yeah, maybe there's something to do with the ball or even the darkness. It's not dark.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe if Ben Homer is down there, maybe he can shed some light on it, I guess.
I'll get my lighter meter out, Gareth. No, it looks all right out there. The lights are on, and there's definitely enough light out there to keep going. If you called it bad light today, you'd have to call if there's a couple of clouds in the sky, you'd have to call it, because there is no clouds blocking the sun at all.
Now I don't think it's got anything to do with the ball here, because I can see the umpire's got the ball.
Yeah,
in his
maybe
hand.
they're changing the ball. But just quickly, who do you two think is in the box seat right now?
I think the game's fully in the balance. It just depends if McGovern can get going. He's played a couple of nice shots, and he just needs to find the boundary a little bit more. We saw Jenkinson at the end there, piled on the runs. So comparatively, I think they're probably around the same amount at the moment.
It was 6 for 105 and 6 for 113. So, but the last over went for 18, remember, for Stockton. And I said that last over could be the difference. So maybe that big hitting at the end Big hit at the end from Jenkinson might get them over the line, but they've still got Ryan Brooks as well in the sheds, Wallsend, who's another batsman.
Yeah, that's right. He's batting down the order today. More of a pinch-hitting role, so be interesting to see what McGovern can do. He's at the non-strikers end at the moment. So it'll be Wicks striking.
Here, Nick Foster, he's very animated in the field now, so he's urging his troops on.
Oh, big swing there. Yeah, there's an edge, and he's going to leave it. He had to really go for it, and he went for it and just really didn't play anywhere near that ball.
No, and that probably is not the shot you want to play. I understand they need probably, 10 and over, but when you've got so many opportunities to rotate the strike around, and I don't know if that was the right shot at this particular time of the game.
So interestingly, Pat McGann's coming out and Brooks. So maybe Brooks has an issue. I don't know.
Yeah, I
can't see him down there with any ice on him, or.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. I can't. Yeah, that doesn't look to be an issue. But the bench, Wallsend's bench, looks a little bit
flatter than what they were. The kids are gone.
That's right.
They've cleared it out. They're on tenterhooks down there as we look, and one of the.
Well, I just think that big over from Jenkinson, that has just blown this game wide open. 123, they would have been chasing.
Yeah, I was just about to say the last 3 overs for Stockton. Now they're starting to become important. What they did in those last 3 overs is now starting to really put them in the box seat of maybe even winning this game.
Well, I'm pretty sure at over 18, they were 7 for 108.
Yeah, so it was
you can just see how they did.
Something. Yeah, 36 off the last 3.
Yes, and so they're really struggling here, Wallsend, and they're looking very shaky in a game that they looked well in control of after 10 overs.
Yeah, probably just comes down to the fact that you're a fairly young team, and sometimes just a little bit of maybe inexperience may come into it when it comes to these sort of games. But I think Stockton have come back very well here as far as their bowling is concerned too. And they've bowled quite well in the last 3 or 4 overs, which has really helped them.
And let's not forget they're missing Ganninan as well out there. So they would have missed him, and the score could have blown out even more. So Stockton really, this effort in the field has been pretty good. And yes, he's gone. He's given him out. That's 2 in a row. He's on his hat-trick. That was a wide-ish delivery. He had a big swing at it, and he missed it completely.
Well, it's pretty similar to the last dismissal, really, wasn't it? It was a wide ball. And for some reason, they've got this thing about they've got to, go for maximums, which, I mean, they've got to get boundaries in the last 3 overs. I understand that, but those sort of shots, they're not going to do you much good. And now it really is Stockton. Stockton are right into it. Here's the replay now.
So we look at the replay there.
He actually moved away from that ball too. He sort of stepped away.
Yeah,
which
he gave himself some room.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's okay, but
he preempted the shot, really, didn't he?
Yeah, it just made it hard for him to make contact with that ball, and he just snicked it.
So what can Brooks do? Brooks, can he be the saviour here? Because Wallsend now, they are looking out of it. Looking well out of it. So hat-trick ball. Oh, and that was very close to the outside edge. You can't ask for a better ball other than a wicket on your hat-trick ball than that.
Yeah, well, this has been a good over. This is what you need in the latter stages of T20 cricket, is to get a good over, and this is the one they needed.
Could potentially the meeting out there, could that have been about time? Because he seems to be rushing through his overs here, Lucas.
Yeah, it could. Well, maybe not. I mean, if it's just a time issue, the umpires will just say to the captain, "Look, you need to hurry up." So I don't know what that stoppage of play was about. It certainly wouldn't have been about time, no. So now for Wallsend, it just comes down to getting the rest of these runs and how they're going to get them.
Well, that's not how they're going to get them, and that's going to call it a wide. So
yeah, and that's probably the first loose ball that he's bowled in this over. Again, just changing the angle. He's gone from over the wicket to around the wicket, so he's just had to adjust his line a bit there.
They won't even take a single on that, so What a good over this has been.
It has been, yeah.
Not at the death, but coming towards the latter stages of the match. You can see the ground now fully covered over. So the sun going down here. The lights are on.
Yep. And as we were saying at the start of the actual game here, every team that's batted first has won in this T20 midweek competition so far. For mine, halfway through this game, it looked like Wallsend were going to get these runs easily, and then they've just lost their way, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. They should have. Really, all they needed to do is push the singles round. They were tracking at around 7 and over. 6.5 and over they were at the completion of the 10 over mark. So all they had to do was a run a ball, and they would have got the runs. So now Brooks. What can he do? 18 overs completed.
And they still require 27 runs to win.
Yeah, it's a mammoth task, really, chasing down 27 runs. Couple of overs remaining. And shots like that aren't going to get you there. They need some big hitting, really.
Yeah, I think now's the time that it comes down to hit out or get out. That's what it's coming down to right now. Is you've got to start taking the risks, maybe come down the track to the bowlers, move around the crease, just do something different to try and upset their lines, and who knows what could happen. You could, have a false shot that goes over the wicketkeeper's head, could go for 6. I mean, those sort of things happen.
Step down the ground, and again, not getting to the ball, stepping away from the ball, really.
Yeah, well, it's bat on ball now. The dot balls, and in the 19th over, you can't have any dot balls in the 19th over.
Well, the game all but over. Oh, and didn't even play it, that one. I don't know if he's having trouble picking it up.
Yeah, look, if I was in the situation and I was Wallsend, I'd rather him have a go than sort of try and. I mean, he's not going to score any more than 1 run playing that shot, and they need more than 1 run. So it's a matter of just, I think, time to swing.
And again, that's another dot ball. Nicely bowled there by Eaton.
Yeah.
Peter, do you think Wallsend have just got it wrong this afternoon, swinging too early and now at the back end?
Yeah,
not going for it enough?
I think when they were in the box seat there, they just started to lose those wickets.
That's almost a run out there. Unlucky.
I think the wicket of Montgomery was a big one. I think he was showing that if he stayed there, they get across the line. As soon as he got out, that was going to be a huge difference. And they probably really haven't recovered since then, since he got out.
Yeah, it's been really tough because they were right in the game. They were doing it easily, and then it sort of just all fell apart.
He stepped across and he's tried to have a big swing at that, and that was too little too late, Peter.
Yeah, it was. But that swing, I love that swing. That's what they need to do for the last over. But, I mean, this is going to have to be a pretty damn good over from Wallsend to get home here. Which is 1 over left. They still need, is it still 25?
Well, I'm pretty sure the comparison rates are exactly the same coming into the last over, Ben Homer. If you can get back to us.
After 19, they are 117 Wallsend. Stockton were 123.
Oh, there you go. It's close. 8 for 117 is what they're chasing.
He needs to get a boundary, this ball.
They're chasing 142, and that is not the boundary they were after. In fact, it didn't even make it outside the circle. So single taken. They're going to need some big hitting here. We saw it yesterday. Has this man Brooks got it in him? He needs to clear the fence to get his side back in the match. Wallsend, they looked like they were sure things early on.
Yeah, I was putting my money on them, but they really have disappointed in the last 5-6 overs.
Oh, and that's a shot that's going to go down towards third man there and cut off for another single.
Well, it's getting harder and harder now, isn't it, to get the 142 they require. And I think they will be extremely gutted that they've actually possibly lost this game.
Well, it's a match they should have won.
Yeah.
They definitely should have won, and as you said, they lost their way throughout the middle part of this innings. All they need to do is go for singles. That's in the air. They're going to go for 2, and they're going to run them out, and yeah, that's a wicket.
He's out.
He had to run it, and that is out, and that is probably the match, Pete.
Yeah, I think that's the end for Wallsend, and it's going to turn out to be a very, very good win by Stockton, who themselves, to be honest with you, they looked down and out as well in their innings as well. They lost their way. They got off to a very slow start, and then it was just the end. The end, I think, when you finish a T20 game like they finished there, it gives you momentum when you come into bowl. When you come out, it gives you a confidence. You feel like, hey, hang on a second, here's the replay.
Well, it's such a confidence game, isn't it? And
yeah.
We look at the replay. Really, not much doing there as Warren gets the ball back. Had to run.
Well, the thing about it is you're actually ending your innings on a positive note, and you're walking into the sheds and going, righto, boys. We'd only thought we'd get 130 here. We got 141. We're in this game. And that's what Stockton would have been thinking as they were coming out to bowl Wallsend.
Well, as Ben Homer said, that last over, pivotal here in this match.
That's a wide.
And that's going to be called a wide. So if they can get 10 more wides, maybe they're back in this, Pete.
Yeah. Or maybe a no ball with a free hit.
Yeah, no ball, free hit, 10 wides, and we've got a game, Pete.
Let's see what happens here.
That's going to be called a wide again. Well, that's 2 wides.
2 in a row.
8 more to go, Pete.
8 more to go.
I'm backing him in. 8 more wides.
You think so?
I've heard it said a few times that last over can determine the result of the game. That last over of the first innings.
Oh, he's gone for that. And Foster has it. Winds up and goes for the run out.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it. Liam Taylor.
Probably didn't miss by much. But that's too little too late for Wallsend, unfortunately.
Yeah, they'll be ruining this one. And to be fair, 123 is quite a good score for a losing side, I guess, in this T20 competition. We haven't seen too many sides reach that. Oh, he's cut that over the top. Good shot in the first 6 overs, but all the men out in the boundaries, not going to find much there, and that's going to be almost the game.
Your ones now are no good. It's boundaries or nothing, and they've just left it way too late. And I think Stockton have done well. I written them off well and truly into Wallsend's innings.
I had them already on the ferry.
Yeah,
all right, the wash tub and having a good time on a Wednesday night, and a big swing of that, another wide. So. You never know, Pete. That's 3 wides for the over. 7 more to go.
This over's just continuing on, isn't it? He's trying to open the door for Wallsend here, isn't he, by bowling the wides?
He's got the call. Down the ground, they'll pick up a single.
Yeah, they just haven't made it matter, unfortunately, and that's it. That's the game.
That is game over. So Stockton, they've come away with a win, an unlikely victory from what we saw early on in their innings. They came back, and I guess Jenkinson definitely deserved to get player of the match. Wallsend unable to beat the total, 9 for 126. On the other hand, they looked like they were sure to reach the target, Peter.
Yeah, well, I think Jenkinson, as you say, he was the key to Stockton, and he was the man that batted through the innings to the end. He was the one that scored most of the runs in the last over, and that was what made a difference. I mean, you look at the score, Gareth, 9 for 126. I mean, that's where Stockton could have ended up.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and they didn't end up, and all thanks to Jenkinson. He came out. We've seen him do it so often in this T20 format and scored a bunch of runs at the end of the innings there for Stockton. Thanks down there on the boundary, Ben Homer. Who do you think was player of the match? It's got to be Jenkinson, mate.
It's got to be, and I 100% agree with what Pete was saying in terms of that last over. That's exactly what Stockton could have been, about 126, 127. Having that one player bat throughout a majority of the innings has helped them win that game. If Montgomery bats as well as Jenkinson in terms of throughout the innings, they win this game easily.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they didn't win, and Stockton comes away with the victory, and it's a good victory. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here on Bar TV Sports for the NDCA Twilight T20 competition, of course, brought to you by the Commonwealth Bank. And, of course, tune in at 5 o'clock tomorrow to see, I guess, the game between Wests taking on Waratah Mayfield. It should be a great game. Thanks very much, Pete Davis, for joining us.
No, my pleasure. Anytime.
Of course, listen in on Sunday on 2HD and Saturday to Pete Davis. What are the times again, mate?
Okay, so this Saturday morning, not normally on, but this Saturday just filling in 7 till midday. So give us a call, and of course on Sunday 8 till 11. And the all-important phone number is 13 12 69. Gareth.
We'll etch that one down. Get in with all your gripes and everything. Thanks very much. It's been Bar TV Sports coverage of the NDCA Twilight T20 competition, brought to you by the Commonwealth Bank. We'll be back at you tomorrow.